everybody. It's Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 882. I'm your host, Jan Ochoa. Joining me, co-captain of the ship, Jeff Grubb.
I just looked at my own camera feed on the website we use, and I got upset at my own resting dick face. So I'm like, man, you look like kind of an a-hole.
Yeah.
All right, speaking about a-holes, he's the opposite of one because he's our local anarchist, the bad boy of games media, the pug slammer, Mike Minotti.
Whoa, I got introduced before Dan. Look at me go. It's me.
Ow.
I was like,
no, I see.
it must be Dan when you talked about a-holes, but all right, sure, yeah.
What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Why are we turning on each other here?
My
Huh?
lord.
Now I'm looking at the feed. I'm like, yep, still pretty pale. That one weekend in Florida didn't do enough. So, all right.
I still think you may have residual Fester makeup on.
Yeah.
That's what people have been saying. Like, it hasn't
becomes
come
part
up
of you.
yet. I'm just this white.
I imagine your flight crossed the border, the invisible border of Ohio, and the tan like broke off like eggshell and just fell to the floor.
Right.
It's like when Homer shaves and then it immediately just grows back.
Yeah, I was picturing like the snap, but like it's, it turns to leaves, but I'm behind. It's just this pale husk.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking about husks and eggs, he's patrolling all of your local grocery stores trying to figure out just what a beat it looks like or is Dan Reichert.
I did get an update from my father. He texted me back saying he has definitely never bought a radish or a turnip.
Yeah.
How does that make you
Yeah.
feel?
Vindicated?
That's a very strong word, Dan.
I know.
Vindicated
this
by
lightly.
Paul Reichert, a thing that can happen.
Vindicated not only a quality that Paul Reichert can give you, but also a dashboard confessional song from Spider-Man 2. He's just the boy.
I was never a emo guy. That's what Dashboard Confessional is, right?
Sure.
I might have to be because I got a little personal update. If I seem a little off, going through a bit of a breakup right now. Got one going on.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, actually.
You are too, Jan.
Yeah, I'm
No, no.
I'm also going through a breakup.
Are you guys okay? The same thing's happened to me.
Oh no.
Wow,
Yeah,
me too.
Wow, the four of us?
The
All
four of
All
us?
of us are
time?
going
What
through a
happened?
breakup. It's not with the same person, is it?
Well,
Wait, who Dan, who did you get broken up with?
the doctor of thugonomics, Jan.
Me too.
He did it to me
Oh,
too.
my
did it to
God.
me too.
Oh, God damn it, Cena. He was seeing all of you at the same time,
He
too?
broke up with me yesterday.
Last night.
my
He wasn't even in the
God.
same goddamn country.
He did it over television.
Yeah, from Brussels.
I don't even know where Brussels is.
Right
The
before the
capital of the
Sprouts.
European Union.
I thought
said
it was
Michael Cole.
personal. I thought he was going to the home of my ancestors to break up with me, to like rub it in. God damn, what a jerk.
Oh, he's not a heel. He's not a baby face.
No.
He just broke up with us.
They cut to that fucking kid with all the Cena stuff on, just staring at the camera. Cena pointed them out specifically, and they cut to him. It's the funniest shit. I was cackling out loud to myself. The kid's like, oh.
Especially because you know that kid is sad in French. So like
I will
Just the
say the French
saddest
had
sad
some
there
good-
is.
They had
Exactly.
good chance. They had a really good chance. I
Oh,
thought.
the European wrestling audiences are maybe the top. They're the best.
Yeah. It was, oh man, him pointing out and singling out every other like adult man wearing full John Cena gear. Like you just take and take and take. Wow, Cena. Oh my God.
Such an asshole. Like, it's exactly like, I don't even think I knew I wanted this version of the heel. I thought it was going to be like, oh, he's got, the new gear, the new music. And then he specifically knew everyone wanted that and used that as part of being heel. Like, no, you don't get that. You don't. Oh, fuck, this is good. This guy is really good at this. He should stick around.
Oh yeah. I've never bought a Cena shirt because I thought they were always cheesy, but I kind of like that rally rag
The
that he's
video
got.
game one? I got that video game one.
The video game
one
was
that looked
okay.
Like the pro
Oh,
wrestling.
yeah.
The Mario
And there was
Brothers
the Mario
3 one?
3 one. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we know he's one of us. He loves Command & Conquer. He loves 2D Metroid. We can thank him for Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
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 God, I
He's
love
been inside the Nintendo prison cube before playing the Switch.
God, I love
Yeah.
2D maybe only like 6 things I like more than 2D Metroid, and I like won't say what they are because people feel left out. But I love 2D Metroid a lot.
I played a little Super Metroid this weekend on the new Tron, and let me tell you, that's pretty fun still.
Dan,
Mike,
that
it's
was
okay
what
if
a
you don't
steal.
like me as much as 2D Metroid.
Definitely not
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm like, totally. I
You're
want to make
not
it clear.
sniffing Super
Yeah.
Metroid.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't expect to, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, Jan, $20 for that thing was a steal. Absolutely. Like, if you have to look at my Blue Sky folks, and just it's perfect. It's like an old couple that bought it new. They were the original owners. It sat in a room. They said they barely ever used it. It looks like I just grabbed it from Kmart in
Were they at least
2001.
smokers? So there's something bad about it?
Well, it was in like a shed, like a work shed, and so it smells like sawdust, which I kind of like.
That's kind of nice.
So,
That's a good smell.
yeah, so it's just really fucking nice. That's why Link to the Past and Super Metroid. I went right to SNES. I feel like that's like the best for the scan lines.
Yeah.
No, I did some 64 on it. Like Mario 64 looks incredible. Holy shit, $20 and for like the ideal CRT I wanted. Ugh.
Nice.
Didn't kill myself bringing it down the stairs either.
That's great.
That's especially important. We have an email about an injury actually, and we'll get to that. How's everyone else doing other than getting their heart broken by John Cena?
That was I had a good weekend.
But yeah, Mike,
what'd you do?
you had a little trippy trip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you can share about it. I don't want to.
tell us like
I can surprisingly talk about quite a bit. Seems like I was never made me sign anything or anything. But yeah, I was at Epic Universe, the very new theme park that Universal has opened in Orlando. It's not really opening for their 2 months. This wasn't even media previews or anything like that. This was employee previews. A friend invited me to join the group. Thank you. So it was this incredible experience. I got to go on Saturday and Sunday. This is the park that has the very big Super Nintendo World. So been the one in Hollywood. This is much bigger in scale, and they have the Mario Kart ride. It's better there too. The field of view on the AR is
they
bigger.
did make the improvements
really?
already. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Because it felt like almost like the Tiger R Zone. You guys ever have that? It felt
Absolutely.
like that at Hollywood. Yeah.
So that's better there. There's like an extra gift shop. There's more of those little games to play, but you have 2 other rides here. You have the Yoshi ride, which is this cute fun little thing where you board these Yoshis. And Dan, you would love just going into the line is like so cool. All these references to Yoshi's Island. I'm walking in, they're immediately playing the stage select song, da 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 da.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
I was like, this is good.
You got to ride a Yoshi?
What? Yeah.
What color?
And a Donkey Kong.
Yoshis.
You
They all
ride
look like
Donkey Kong?
Yoshis, and there's it's a cute little ride with all these little there's even the interactive element there is like it's a little bit like Disney Junior, like, can you find the eggs? Like click the button on your car because it's it is a kid's ride, but lots of Yoshi's Island references and things.
What color
like that
Yoshi
on
did you
there.
ride?
I was on a green one, Hero Yoshi, of course.
Okay. Yoshi Prime.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mikey, did you get to try any of like the new foods they were teasing, like that weird hot dog with Doritos?
Oh yeah.
So again, this is very early previews, so a lot of food stands weren't open yet. I did pop into their Toadstool Cafe, even that's bigger, a lot more seating in there. The highlight is the whole Donkey Kong Country section.
So not just the ride, the whole section is
the whole section. You go through this tunnel, and you're just suddenly in Donkey Kong Country. Donkey's plane is to the right, and that's where the merch is.
Is there a Funky? Is Funky there?
I don't think Funky's walking around. Donkey Kong will be. What? Baby, no, baby, not there.
Lanky?
No. Sorry, I think just DK is going to be a walk.
What about
around.
Shoot Kong?
Rammy's there. There's a game you can play with some bongos to summon Rammy the rhinoceros, which is fun. You can collect the Kong letters with your power-up band. They have the 4 letters
that's
around
cool.
the park.
Okay.
Yeah, but then the ride is this minecart ride, and just the facade of it is so cool because there's this giant waterfall. You see the minecarts, like the ride going through one of those giant barrels and shooting over the top of it. And like the whole ride system, if you haven't looked into this, it has a kind of fake rail that it looks like the cars are on, but the rail is actually much lower than that. So when you're on the ride, it does all this neat stuff with misdirects. Like, it looks like you're going to hit something. Looks like the track's going to go this way, but actually you're going to jump the track and things like that. Really cool. The line has a Cranky Kong animatronic.
Oh, cool.
Cranky Kong talks to you, and he's talking to Squawks the whole time, too.
What's the accent they went for? What's his name?
He does not sound like the movie version. He just kind of sounds like an old man, and I think it's a better sound for him.
Okay, cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Fred
So,
Armistead.
But just standing around there and vibing in Donkey Kong Country was so amazing. Being on the ride and when you're outside, you just get these great views, and it has synced audio on the ride. It's just playing Donkey Kong Country music. That
Oh,
sounds so
man.
freaking good. So yeah, I loved the Donkey Kong Country coaster. And yeah, I'm a bit of a wimp with coasters. This was definitely a Mikey sized coaster. It was still pretty good for me to do, but there's just so many elements and thematic things to it. I won't give, any big spoilers about those moments. But yeah, that ride ruled. But then, God, there's 3 other lands. There's a Dark Universe is the classic Universal monsters.
It looks so cool in pictures
It's
now.
so cool. The ride there is kind of like the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride. It's that same system, but just on crack and way more animatronics and less screens. So it's just so freaking
Oh,
immersive
cool.
Nice.
and cool. The How to Train Your Dragon section, that is like the big sleeper hit. So beautiful, so pretty. There's another coaster there. It's a bit more intense, but still relatively family friendly. There's like a Broadway style 30-minute show thing, all sorts of
Oh.
meet and greets. They got a guy who sounds so much like Hiccup that I think it's just Hiccup. I think they found the computers to just make cartoon characters real or something. He's doing a fantastic job. There's another Harry Potter section, of course, and this one, it's funny because it's Paris. It's themed around that one movie nobody saw, but of course they did a very, very, very good job with that. That was the one ride that wasn't open, but we walked through the queue. It was great. But yeah, not to pimp another podcast, but I go into a lot of detail on this on a new 90s Disney that should be going up today. So, but yeah,
Looking forward
incredible
to that.
time.
There was a Harry Potter movie that people didn't see.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
those
a couple of
Fantastic
them.
Beasts movies?
No. There you go, Dan.
Yeah, they made like new ones that were prequels.
That's one where they explained why the wizards didn't help defeat Hitler.
Yeah, because they had their own Hitler that smoked out of a skull hookah.
Right, and it would have been worse if they had stopped Hitler.
Yeah.
Shoot, Hitler exists in Harry Potter.
Yes.
yeah.
And
A
J.K.
shoot-
Rowling wants to tell you why it's okay that he was around.
I see.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
movies.
They
real
killed
quick,
2 babies in the one.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're a hell of a thing. 5
fun
minutes
time.
ago on this podcast, Dan said the Tiger R Zone, and we were all just like, "Yes, we know that thing." We're all very old men, and I just can't get over
No,
it.
no, no, no,
Here's what I. No. Let me guess something. Grub, you instantly knew.
Instantly knew.
Jan, you don't, but you were just letting it go. And Mike, with some jostling, you remember it. Is that correct?
So I immediately knew what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Okay. Jan, do you know the Tiger R Zone?
Tiger R Zone. It sounds familiar.
I had the Virtua Fighter one.
Oh yeah,
and
no. Yeah, I've seen this, but I'm not old.
For Christmas once, it was the main thing I wanted because I thought it was gonna beam just like I thought. Because in the pictures you would see somebody, every kid looked so jazzed to be playing it in the magazine.
yeah.
They're like, wow! And they would have like lasers shooting into your eyes, but you suspiciously wouldn't really see a lot of gameplay stuff in these ads.
Uh-huh.
So I just assumed it'd be like I'm in Virtua Fighter if I get this thing. And then I got it for Christmas. I demanded on the way home from my grandma's house that my mom stop at like a Walgreens so I can get 1 billion AA batteries. And I fucking set it up. And it is, you remember little handheld, like licensed Tiger things that are just like, there's like 2 buttons and it just sucks ass. It's that, but it's red wire frames projected on glass in front of your face. It fucking suck ass.
Hell of a thing.
You look like a little Dragon Ball scouter almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the most Dragon Ball Scouter thing I can imagine.
Oh, I guess I didn't appreciate that back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucked. It was no good.
Speaking about getting old, gents.
Yeah.
We'll get into the podcast. Why the fuck did I wake up this morning with intense lower back pain? And then it took me like an extended amount of time to roll out of bed and think, maybe I can't go to work today. My back hurts.
Jan,
Oh,
if there's any solace I can give you about this, it's just the fact that at some point, sooner than you'd like, it's not going to surprise you.
Yeah, it's like it just becomes a friend. You can name the pain.
Yeah,
It's
it's like,
not
oh,
with
it's a
you
shoulder
always.
day. Oh, it's an upper and lower back day.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
it's
how
the
I
next
talk to you
thing.
guys about how I need to get to like Disney shape or theme park shape? Like I have like a regimen 2 months out. Like this trip came together very fast. It was like, all right, I got to be there this weekend. I did not get to get into theme park
You
shape.
hurt your
Some-
ankle, right?
Some might say I am in the worst shape of my life. I was hurting. But by the time I got home, I said, my left ankle hurts so much. I'm like, I should get that looked at.
You got to
Maybe.
get back on the roids, I think, for
Yeah,
your next
oh,
trip.
they're great.
Now, because y'all were talking about during Reichert's Roulette yesterday about deadlifting. Was that yesterday?
Yeah,
I
that
think
sounds
so.
right.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking like, yeah, I can deadlift a lot. My lower back is super strong. And then this morning, Karma fucking
Yep.
punched me in the lower back and was like, no, you're old now.
And then the frustrating thing about getting older too is like there's a lot, but it's like I'm training for a marathon this year, and it's like as I'm starting the training recently and stuff, and I'm just like, why the fuck did I wait until I was 40 to start training for marathons? Like I was 20 once. And back then I was not working out at all. I was just drinking and eating garbage when my body was at the most ready for this type of stuff. Now I'm fucking 40 and I really have to take precautions and
Yeah, it
do
was like
things
I
really
was
by the book.
training to be old and out of shape back in the 20s, and now I'm
Yeah.
training to be
Yes.
kind of like I was 20 again, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
hey,
mean-
if you're 20 something out there, dude, take advantage because that's the most old guy thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're the
Live
most
your
young,
life.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only 25, so I got a long way to go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh no, now I'm lying about my age. I am old. No.
Oh, Dan, you should get a CRT.
Yeah.
I do really want a CRT. I want to.
Yes.
My problem is I want a CRT VCR combo.
I know.
Sure.
I want that
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have one of those. It's my childhood one. I don't know how great it's running these days, but I still have it.
Because I just want to pop some tapes into it and just do the
You
thing.
shared all these VHS tapes you got, Dan, and I'm like, oh, he's leaving. But I'm like, that's that's the one road I cannot possibly travel. I can't get into VHS collecting now. That is just so much space being taken up.
Yeah, I like want to have like 25 of them in like a box in my closet or something like that. I don't need more than that. But Dan, what do you got there?
What do you
So,
say
well,
about
I did also, when I bought the TV, they had a billion great VHS tapes from the 90s that were $1 a piece. And so I
That
got
the
like
Pest?
40 from there. But no, it's not the best. These are ones I bought separately. I forgot what show it was on where somebody told me about the existence of these. But this is the very best of Tool Time,
That's
which
good.
is 84 minutes of just Tool Time episodes. With on the back, it's just Tim Allen's mugshot from selling coke at an airport.
Hell yeah.
And then I also got every Mortal Kombat fatality, every fatality, every animality, every friendship, every stage fatality, just in a row. So I can just
They're nice looking boxes. Like these are just like
These are
people
new.
make. Yeah,
these are new. These are custom made. Yeah.
These aren't official products. right?
No, not
That's
at all.
really
you get them
cool.
from Etsy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah. I'm gonna pop
Oh
those in soon.
no, I can't venture down bespoke.
I know.
cool
I'm like,
VHS
yeah.
I'm gonna
tapes
type
on
in
Etsy.
Etsy. I'm just gonna type in VHS to see what happens.
I should put over the actual store because it they do good work for sure.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, everyone else is doing okay. Everyone else is fine. Before we get into the pod,
No Good Tapes is the name of the Etsy store. No Good Tapes. They do a ton of, and they also take like modern, like Alien Romulus on VHS, like that type of stuff. You know,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's cool.
Mm.
Probably deeply illegal, but very cool. So check it out.
Oh, real quick before we get into the actual pod, shouts out to Jason Finelli. Joey Famelli
Yep.
from tested.com. Names are too close to each other. For sharing his pizza dough recipe with me. I made a pizza over the weekend. Ovens are weird, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No?
just putting a baking steel into it.
I mean, I was literally thinking this yesterday too, because I realized I'm now at the point where I do definitely know the difference between a stove and an oven, but I still was troubleshooting my stove yesterday and typed in oven. So I'm still working on it.
Look, my opinion is it's weird that there's a box in your house that can get up to hundreds of degrees. Like, if I think about it that way, yes, ovens are weird. How did you mean it, Janichoa?
I meant it as in using a baking steel, which is pretty much a sheet of metal.
STEELE.
No, ST. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't. Yes. Anyway, and that
that seemed to really throw you off.
I
really went off kilter from that.
The age is catching up to me, y'all.
You need some brain age back
Spelling's
on
the
you.
first thing to go. Yeah.
I'm Benjamin buttoning through this podcast. And the instructions on the baking steel were crank your oven up hella hot, hot as it can go, and leave that shit in there for an hour. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then the instructions were when I'm ready for pizza time, to throw the pizza onto there, but switch it to the broiler because the pizza steel is so hot at this point that it'll cook the bottom with the residual heat. And that's insane. That's scary. That's crazy.
Scary. It's just thermodynamics.
It's just like why is there on top of this hot box in my house that can reach hundreds of degrees, like Grub said. Now there's a sheet of metal in there that's like terrifyingly hot.
God,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. And like, I don't know if this might just be like an ADHD thing or something, but like when my head is just always in a, like, I can see myself, and I've done it before, just thinking of something else and like grabbing the pan out of the oven or grabbing it off the stovetop when it's like, don't even think about the fact that it's unbelievably hot, you know?
I'm usually not in that situation, but I definitely am in the situation where I'm like, yeah, left the oven on. That oven has just been on for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm sometimes bad with that. There was definitely a Thanksgiving that I went to where I had to cook the rolls, and I got to like the house, and I was like, I am pretty sure I didn't turn the oven off. Like I got to leave and go back. Like, yep, sure enough.
Man, I impressed the shit out of myself yesterday. I
yeah?
was hungry. Yeah, because it's like I threw a chicken in the sous vide, and I'll do that, and then I'll like see what I have around and what I can do with it. Like, I'll make some potatoes or carrots or whatever. I took the chicken out. I seared the chicken. I chopped up some onions and roasted some onions in there with some canola oil. I put some avocado in there, some greens.
Yeah,
I
good,
made a couple cups of quinoa. And then I had cheese, tortilla strips, some avocado ranch sauce. I made this fucking like Southwestern bowl with chicken and quinoa and roasted onions and shit. And it was good as hell. And it wasn't like a recipe. I'm just like learning how to do this stuff
You're
now.
just jazzing over there? That's
You're
love it.
freestyling, Dan.
Yeah,
It's great.
and it was so good.
That
Every
sounds
time I was
great.
taking a bite, I was like, I made this. I just came up with this. This is great.
Now, do you think turnips would have improved it?
It's impossible to know.
Yeah, no one could say for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to switch things up on the podcast today, and we're going to start with the news.
Yar, I wasn't told about this.
I said this right
Embargoes.
before we went up.
Yeah.
I was been distracted by something.
Okay. Fair enough. Jeff
Canceled
Grubb!
Disney.
I can read the news, and I'm going to do so right now. Let's get through some of these headlines. Bethesda's Oblivion Unreal Engine 5 remake could be releasing sooner than you think. Rumors and a bunch of corroborated reports suggest a fully remade Elder Scrolls 5 Oblivion by Virtuos, which is the same team that is doing that Metal Gear remake, Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. They're doing an Unreal Engine 5 that could release as soon as May or maybe through the end of June. So we'd probably have to hear about it soon. And then this thing could pop off like a month later, maybe 2 months after that. This rumor has been going around for a while that this game existed. It's kind of been an open secret. Everyone's like, yeah, that's happening. That's real. They still have not ever acknowledged it publicly. So we're kind of waiting for that to see what it even looks like. But at this point, could just get announced the next couple of weeks and then launch right after that. You guys looking forward to an Oblivion remake in Unreal Engine 5?
I never played Oblivion, so feel like this would be a good way to finally check that out.
I like it quite a bit.
It's really good. It's maybe my favorite one of those for its time.
I think so. Me too.
Yeah. There was, it's pretty equivalent to Skyrim in a lot of ways. It's an uglier game than Skyrim for sure, and this will hopefully help with that. But the quest design is really, really cool. I think, Skyrim, it works. It is a lot of snow, right? There's a bit more biodiversity here, from what I can remember. Even if it's not biodiversity, if I have to look at one landscape constantly, I'd rather look at grassy fields than just snow. But yeah, things like the Thieves Guild quest, whatnot, are very memorable here. The expansion for it, Shivering Isles, was very, very good. So that content will be amazing to see. It had Patrick Stewart in the beginning. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I remember liking this game quite a lot. I think it'll be really neat to see what a remake of it can look like. It'll just, it'll be interesting to see a Bethesda game running in Unreal. How does that work?
Yeah, I think that's kind of, there's like more to that, right? They're probably not just doing this because this is the way this one studio wants to do things. They probably are considering the future of Bethesda games, and maybe should we be making these games in Unreal Engine 5? Is that even possible? Would that translate? So they're probably going to figure out some of that together with their work with Virtuos. Well, Oblivion's the game for me where I'm like, oh, I really just like the sandbox stuff. I'm never going to play this campaign. I don't care. And I'm still going to spend 1,000 hours in here. And the game really kind of came together for me and revealed I'm like, oh, I just like goofing off in these games.
It was a really good time for it to come out too, because I remember everyone got the 360 and it had a pretty good launch. Everyone played a lot of like Call of Duty 2 and stuff like that, but everybody was waiting for that big game. And I remember everyone saying like, oh, wait for like March or whenever it came out. I'd be like, oh, Oblivion's coming in. It's like, what the fuck is Oblivion? And I'd heard Morrowind before, but I also heard all the complaints about it, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be like that, but way better. And it was my first dive into one of those big, kind of like Western RPGs. And I 100% of that game, got every achievement, like love Oblivion. So I'll play that again.
Looking forward to it. Apparently, March 20th, 2006 is the release date.
I remember because it was like this. It was very close to when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and I was very much looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 2. And my brother AJ was very much looking forward to Oblivion. And actually, it was years later when I finally did play Oblivion. I was too focused. I had years to worry about Kingdom Hearts 2 instead.
Yeah, it took you that long to decode the story at that point.
Sure. Yeah, that's what.
No, back then the story wasn't the. No, never mind.
It's starting to go up the rails a bit with 2. It's starting, yeah.
Chat reminds me, says that March with Oblivion, Fight Night Round 3, and Graw was so awesome. Man, that just brings me back. Like hearing those 3 back to back to back, it's like, yep, I remember that. That month was just like, oh, this is the 360. Like the face shit on Fight Night Round 3, the slow-mo, just egregious. It was so good.
And also, it's like it was much more video game monoculture back then because I would like listen to One Up Yours, and they would talk about all those games. Then I would go turn on the Xbox 360, and every single person on my friends list, like 40 to 50 people, everyone would go from the one game to the next game together. So everyone was just going from like Graw into Oblivion, and it was like, okay, so we're all just gonna go talk about this now. And then Twitter would launch a little bit later.
That were like that, like Prey was one of those. The first Lost Planet was one of those for sure. I think maybe even the first Dead Rising. Yeah,
Dead Rising was huge. Yeah, I never got into Lost Planet.
I never did either, actually.
I tried a couple times. I thought it was weird because I'm like, this doesn't do anything for me.
I liked it a bunch. I liked running around in the snow, and
I did get I was looking into it the other day. I'm like, could we play a cooperative Lost Planet today and see what that looks like? I'd be curious just to check it out.
Are we all collectively just entering the age of 360 nostalgia? Because like between all these lists we've all been making lately, and now we're all getting jazzed up just talking about memories of 360. Is that the sweet spot for?
There was a time where it was like, considering the Xbox 360 a retro console is crazy.
Yeah,
and now I'm like, that's not crazy.
That's not crazy at all. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
20 years ago. Yeah,
it's
20 years ago now.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it is. Yeah, I think so. GameCube was it like the black hole of like a retro game nostalgia for a long time.
It was,
and I think we're just getting over the hump of like that taking up all the oxygen out of the room.
It's interesting though, because like I don't think there's going to be a giant Xbox 360 collecting scene because those consoles were designed poorly and break a lot. And like when you get Xbox 360, what does that look like? What do you want? You want blades, right? And you're going to plug it in. Maybe you're going to get avatars and that super clean UI. And also, pretty much all of those games are just on PC and are cheaper and look better. So it's collecting for 360 is kind of weird.
It's funny. Like I always found the like nostalgia sweet spot with the audience and just us is like always about 15 to 20 years behind. Because I remember when I started the Game Informer in 2009. It was like all the retro stuff I was doing on Replay to start was like SNES stuff. It was like a lot of Link to the Past and things like that. And a couple years in, I start realizing that like, oh man, when I started doing like Mario Party videos and like N64 stuff, like those are really blowing up. Those are doing great. And like 5 years ago, you're right, GameCube was definitely a big thing. And now it's like, I do kind of feel like we're moving into that 360 era,
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I think we could do like an Xbox Live Summer of Arcade stream, like play a bunch of those games, and I bet that would hit real nice for a lot of people.
Write that down. I dibs on Missplosion, man.
Okay. Hey, yeah.
Oh, who's going to play Bionic Commando Rearmed?
Rearmed? Oh, the good one. Yeah, not the hot dog arm one. Yeah.
I'd love more Trials. Let's do Trials too.
Trials. God.
Yes.
Limbo.
N plus. I love
N plus. Yep.
We could do a Pac-Man Championship Edition DX just tournament or whatever.
Oh yeah.
People won't shut up about Wick and the Fable of Souls.
That's right. I can't walk 5 steps out of my house without being assaulted about that game.
Shadow Complex. Oh yeah, we have to do it. Yes, let's do it. Maybe. Okay. Yes. I'm writing that down too.
Yeah.
Summer of Arcade.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep. Summer of Arcade.
The Summer of Arcade.
Maybe I'll do that for Records Roulette on Monday. I'll take a look at what I can download.
Fantastic.
Okay.
The first portable Xbox could reportedly hit shelves this year. Microsoft has reportedly worked with Asus on a project called Project Canaan. I'm going to say Canaan. I'm not sure if that's exactly how you say it. It's not Keenan, apparently. There's no T-E's in there. Canaan, aiming for a unified library of Xbox and PC games. Basically, Asus is going to do the hardware. Microsoft is going to tell them what they need from the hardware and then do the software environment. So the OS the interface, all that stuff. They're bringing back blades, hopefully, for this. But yeah, this is the kind of thing where it's like I think they might still make their own hardware separate from this. This is the quickest way to just like get something out there and solve the biggest problem with PC handhelds, which is the interface can be cumbersome sometimes. And Microsoft has acknowledged that. Phil Spencer's talked about that repeatedly. So them like that they have a team inside there trying to make a UX experience that actually is fun to use and easy to use on a PC handheld. And it sounds like they're going to launch a product focused on that this year. You guys, like, how are you feeling about your handheld PCs right now? And do you need an Xbox One?
It's a little bit weird. Like I like my Asus ROG Ally X quite a bit still, but I also am like, okay, let's see what the Switch 2 can do, and let's see just how many things get ported there, including Xbox games anyways, right?
Right.
Like, a lot of stuff could very likely just show up on the Switch 2. But I'm still going to be curious what the Xbox thing looks like, even though I kind of expect it to be very similar to a ROG Ally X.
Yeah, and similar in interface to the way the Xbox works, which is I'm used to that these days, and I'm okay with it. And I think it's pretty good, but it's not going to blow anyone's socks off to be like, yeah, okay, Xbox UI on a handheld PC. I don't know. Maybe they have other ideas, but I don't know.
What color do you think this is going to be?
Black.
Black.
It'll be black.
I don't know why.
There will be green somewhere on it.
In my head, I feel like it's going to be sand camo.
Yeah.
I don't know why. When I
Tier 1
imagine
operator
this,
edition.
yeah. I just think it's gonna be, it's gonna be sand camo. It's gonna just have like a big X on it.
Huh.
I've been playing Donkey Kong 64, so now every time I think about camo,
Why?
I don't, because I got the N64 over here hooked up, and I'm like, I'm like, I hate that game, I think, but I'm like, I bet it's better than I remember. I just really, there's a hacked version of that ROM where you could switch the characters out on the fly.
Oh, that's
This is a lot, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like, I haven't played that, but I'm like, if I had that, I bet that would fix just about most of my problems with that game.
It's the backtracking, and hey, that's the worst part. I kind of liked it back then, but Grub, as someone who has many times in his life been like, I bet it's better than we think it is, and gone back and done a whole series based on it. No, it's got the right reputation, I think.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm settling. At least like it looks all right. But yeah, Funky Kong and his fatigues in that game always sends me. I'm like, what are you doing?
I hope everyone at that Antarctic research station is enjoying the copy.
They've all 100%ed it multiple times now, I'm sure.
My dream, yeah.
They haven't been thinged yet.
Well, we don't know. We haven't checked in on them.
Swanky Kong came out of the cart.
Apple Arcade is getting a brand new Katamari Damacy game as well as a Space Invaders game next month. This Katamari Damacy Rolling Live, as it's called, looks like a full-on Katamari game, but it's going to be locked to Apple Arcade at least for some time. But because it's Apple Arcade, that means it won't have microtransactions. It's just going to be a real video game like a lot of the Apple Arcade stuff we've gotten before. And I'm okay with this. I have Apple devices. I will probably try to play this on there. But even if I have to wait for it to get on Switch 2 or PC 6 months to a year later, I'm okay with that. Just happy that Katamari's still rolling along.
I wonder how they're gonna make the levels, given that the King of the Cosmos is now a hit streamer.
Yes.
What?
He's a live streamer. He's a press record with live on TV. Yeah, he's a streamer in this game now, Dan.
In the game?
Cosmos. Yes.
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Go ahead.
It's a great point of shame of me that I've actually never really played any of these games somehow. I don't know how that happened. It looks like something I would like quite a bit.
I think you would.
Mike,
played Katamari.
There's got to be a Delight Club where we make you play this.
Oh
yeah. I definitely need to.
I think it's like the game I got. It was PS2, right? I think I got my PS2 for this with the hope of like, okay, and then I'll get Shadow of the Colossus. Like, so yeah, as soon as it was was in the United States,
What's
I got
the best
Katamari.
One to play these days? Is there like a good remaster of like one of them? So you just played original.
There's the re-roll on Switch is good. That's a remaster
good.
of the first one, which first one's still my favorite. Beautiful Katamari is really good too, but first one.
I always remember we love Katamari. We heart Katamari. I saw in the box. Like, that's a neat title.
They're all good.
Is that the second one on PS2? I was mixing up with Beautiful Katamari. Okay. Yeah, those first few were all good.
You should play it, Mike, because the soundtrack is crucial.
Banger.
Yeah, you have to have that as a part of your
King
life.
of all Cosmos.
Yeah.
That's
good. You got it.
Good one there, Mento. Thank you.
PlayStation is partnering with People Can Fly on a mystery game franchise. People Can Fly, the team that did Outriders and Bulletstorm, they put out a thing for their investors saying, we're working with Sony on as a contract studio on an IP that they own. So it could be an existing IP. It could be a new IP that Sony owns in some way, but we don't know what it is. People Can Fly, though, has done a lot of contract work on stuff like Gears of War. So they, they're associated with being the shooter people. They make games, the shooting games. What do you guys want them to be working on?
Jumping Flash.
I'm gonna get it out of the way now. SOCOM.
I think that's more likely than Jumping Flash.
Hey,
What?
hey, he's an Astrobot. How many SOCOMs were an Astrobot? Huh?
Everyone's a SOCOM if you try hard enough, Mike. Come on.
What if, and I still haven't played this game, even though I kind of want to, we get a sequel to The Order 1886?
Oh, no one wants it.
I like that game. I do.
Yeah.
I like it.
I am trying to figure out like what it could possibly be. We're talking about 360 nostalgia, so you assume PS3 nostalgia is probably equally a thing.
Player?
Not there, but look, I never cared for Resistance that much, or even Killzone, to be honest. But maybe those are ones where I don't think those original studios are going back to those franchise. They both moved on to kind of bigger, better things. But maybe People Can Fly can do something with like a remake of Resistance 1. I don't know. When I say that, it doesn't have very much appeal to me, but maybe that's triggering some other people.
I'm sure it is.
Siphon Filter?
Does that have a lot of value these days?
Right, that's the thing. It's like, look, you laugh at me with Jumping Flash, but it's like all of these things are almost starting back from zero. So maybe just look at the one that's kind of the most interesting. Maybe I'm being optimistic there.
But I mean, a little bit, because the pessimistic version of this is that they are making a single player campaign for one of these live service games that got green lighted in the last few years. Some bullshit we've never heard of before that we actually wouldn't care about. But like, maybe if we put a single player campaign in there, people will care about it. And it's People Can Fly. They could just do that as a contract job. So
I got it. I cracked the code. Concord.
That's
Concord with a campaign. Sure. Bring it back, everybody.
Quick update here, as I have been putting together a list of potential XBLA games for a stream on Monday. Okay, here's the Murderer's Row. Okay,
Yeah, let's
I
do
gotta
it.
start with Hexic HD, the first one.
Oh, sure.
Doritos Crash Course, Missplosion Man, Trials. I would love to see if we could play that multiplayer Castlevania, Harmony of Despair.
Yeah.
We could see if we can play that still.
No,
I
we
don't know
can-
if that's possible.
Me and Sean will look into that. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll maybe parsec that.
Okay. Geometry Wars, Shrek and Roll, Cloning Clyde, Wick Fable of Souls, and Mad Balls and Bobo Invasion.
Mad Balls,
it.
baby.
All the stars.
God, a lot of those things were triggering. That's for sure. It's like, oh my God, this explosion, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like a good time. I liked Mr. Explosion Man. I played some Miss Explosion Man. I didn't play all of it, although it is better.
Explosion Man and Missplosion Man.
Yeah,
like
Explosion
Pac-Man
Man,
and Miss
yeah.
Pac-Man. Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's right.
I can't believe
All right.
the credits theme they had for Mr. Explosion Man is part of the reason why I bought a ukulele.
Really?
Yeah.
I can believe
The
it.
craziest sentence you've ever said.
No, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
All right.
AI upscaling on Nintendo Switch 2 is basically confirmed thanks to an updated patent. Really, we know this thing's going to happen, but there is a new patent that just talks about the AI upscaling solution for the upcoming Switch 2. The AI upscaling will allow a native 540p image to output at 1080p, saving storage space for games. That's not really how that works. Yeah, it's going to make it so it can run faster because it's easier to render out 540 pixels horizontally than it is or vertically than it is to do 1080p. They're using DLSS. We should see this here pretty soon because that April 2nd reveal is just closer and closer every day. That is how
Yeah.
linear time works.
Ooh.
That is so close. I am very excited for that. Yeah, I'm curious to see what this looks like, if it's going to somehow apply to like Switch 1 backwards compatibility or anything like that. I just want to see you're saying on Game Mornings on Game Breaking News
Wow, what did you miss that?
yesterday. Yeah, you think there's a good possibility Metroid Prime 4 is talked about quite a bit the Switch 2 Direct.
I mean, that's what the reporting says now. And also, when the hell else would they talk about
I know what
that
else
game?
do it.
It's not coming out this year.
Oh, that was so good.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, because we're 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away from that April 2nd event, and they have to tell us what's going on with that game that they've already told investors multiple times this year is a Switch 1 game still. So, yeah.
Right. And I mean, look, you guys are trying to dunk on me a lot. Like, oh, Mike thought this game was going to come out Switch 1.
I know
Originally,
what you
yes.
said. Yeah, I know
But
what
the
you said,
argument
yeah.
did change to what is it going to be mostly positioned as, a Switch 1 game or a Switch 2 game? And I think jury's still out on that one.
It feels like if it's a big part of this April 2nd event, it's mostly going to be considered a Switch 2 game, widely thinking. Silent Hill F's release date may be sooner than expected. It got rated by the SRB. That's the story here. This is a thing that happens when a game is about 8 to 12 weeks out. Not always. It could take longer than that, but this is the kind of thing that happens when it's not actually that far away from release. So Silent Hill F could release this year. Did you guys all watch the trailer? I caught up on it. I thought it was pretty good.
It was good, but yeah, it did not have a date. Didn't even have a year. So
Right.
usually, I take that as a sign of not anytime soon. Even though there was a lot that they showed in that trailer, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, maybe they're just being coy because they want to save that reveal for the next showing of this. Maybe in some larger showcase or just another big drop. I don't know, but yeah, it was a good looking trailer.
Right. That the trailer did pop off at it was a Silent Hill event, right? Like a little show for Silent Hill news. So maybe they're like, we'll save the date for something else.
I love how they've been running those events where the producers and whoever's talking about the game is obviously on a set, but they just add so much CGI fog to everything. It's great.
PlayStation has formed a new studio called Dark Outlaw Games with Call of Duty Zombies lead Jason Blundell. Sony has launched a new first-party studio with Jason, formerly of Treyarch and Deviation Games. Deviation was that other studio that Sony was working with that I think closed down after the game got canceled. I can't remember the exact history there. Me, I can only think about Concord and then Fair Games. Yeah, the studio is working in secrecy for now, but Blundell emphasized the privilege of establishing a new studio working with Sony. Probably a shooter game. I don't know. I guess I don't know what to expect from these kind of partnerships anymore.
Live service, right? Come on.
Probably, but I mean, this is a new studio they're starting up right now after the last live service thing didn't work with Deviation, right? So
yeah, but they say they're still committed to it though, and I bet a lot of them are like, we have to make it work still somehow. So
you're right. It's probably hybrid with it's a Trojan horse to get to something that is live service, but maybe that's not so brazen about we're making a live service game for all those live service game fans out there. They will probably position it publicly a little bit differently, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then just a little roundup of Star Wars stuff. Respawn's next Star Wars game is going to be revealed at Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo on April 19th. That is the one that they're working on with Bit Reactor, which is a studio of former XCOM and Civilization veterans from Firaxis. It's a strategy tactics game. We haven't seen it before. They haven't really actually even said the name or anything like that, other than just confirm this is happening. So we will get the details about that next month. And then KOTOR remake is still in the works at Saber. They've once again reconfirmed that. Although Sony has not said anything about it other than taking that trailer off of its YouTube page a long time ago. That's the last thing that happened with that. So definitely still some weirdness around there, but Saber's chugging along apparently. And then Star Wars Hunters is shutting down in October. And I know you guys were sad about this one. All a bunch of big Star Wars Hunters heads.
Yeah, that's us. We were the Hunter heads. The Hunter
really,
hive.
you just like any Zynga game is what it is.
Of course.
So, yeah.
What was the fucking Zynga game? It was around the time of some convention, because I remember it was one of the things where a game came out for phones. Everybody in the universe was playing. I remember there was one convention or GDC or something where it's nobody could stop playing. You had to draw stuff, and it was it was a 2-player thing. So
not a Farmville.
Was it Words with Friends or something?
No, it blew up. And I think Zynga bought the studio that made
Draw
it for
something.
Was it Draw Something? That's what it is. I remember that being the biggest thing in the world for 2 weeks, and then they got bought off of all that hype, and then no one ever talked about it again.
We should play Draw Something.
I remember being really good.
Yeah, based on the browser
Yeah.
game, Draw My Thing. All right,
Mm.
yeah.
Well, I sure do wonder what a KOTOR remake looks like, right? Because I feel like just a few years ago, it would have been like, yeah, let's make it way more like real time combat and things like that. But now we're in a post Baldur's Gate 3 world.
Right, and this was a game. KOTOR was a game based on D&D rules. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it was also Bioware, just like the first two Baldur's Gates were. So yeah, it's doing stuff like the invisible dice rolls and things like that, and it was great. And
it's
I
still
mean,
great.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
still I still love playing KOTOR. So I feel like you go in there now and try to Dragon Age Veilguard it or something like that. That might be received pretty poorly. Like it's one of those things where I would be pretty happy just to have a relatively one-to-one remake with just some
Same.
extra juice on the graphics. I don't know if that's the scale that they're thinking of. Boy, yeah, that seems like a very difficult project.
Yeah, KOTOR is another series that escaped me as a youth, and I'd love to circle back and check it out.
Jotor, Jantor,
Jantor,
Mm.
Knights of
Ochoa.
Knights of the
KOTOR.
Ochoa Public. Knights of the Ochoa Public.
Ochoa
Okay.
There you
Public.
go.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I dig
I
it.
love saying KOTOR. By the way,
It's good.
feels
It's
so
a good
Very good.
acronym.
Yeah,
Although I think a few episodes ago we changed it to
NOTOR,
NOTOR. Yeah,
right.
so
Oh.
I was not. I
Right.
was not okay with that.
Well, majority,
Oh, sorry,
Not
Mikey.
fair.
that's how it goes, bud. A couple other things that I did not put as headlines here. The Analog 3D has been delayed. I've been told repeatedly. Well, I guess it's coming out in July now. I have not actually tracked down the announcement here. Dan, what did it say?
I just saw people in the chat saying it, and
Okay.
I'm curious because
That's what I'm
how
seeing
else
too.
am I going to play Nintendo 64 games?
I know, right? It's impossible.
I don't have
Yeah.
40 devices in this house that I play, including numerous Nintendo 64s.
Dan, did your 4K CE arrive from Retro
No.
Tank yet?
Watch it. I've got a tab open with the fucking tracking, and it's
Same
not.
here.
Did it get approved through customs, and now it's just a label's created, and it's sitting.
It's in this country. Yes, it's
Yeah,
yes.
that's all
And
I know.
DHL has it, so I'm like, I think DHL is pretty quick. I'm expecting to get it soon, but I
Okay.
broke down and got this thing. I was like talking myself out of it all day when they went up for sale, and then I think Sean was like, "Did you get one?" I'm like, "No," and then as soon as I wrote no, I think I went and bought it.
Yeah,
Like,
we're strong men with good self-control. Yeah,
the iron will is how they describe me. Yeah, so okay, the Analog 3D is a Nintendo 64 using the FPGA stuff that they do, and it was supposed to come out early this year. Now it's coming out in July, and it still says out of stock. So if you want to buy one and you were like hoping the first run would come out so you can get in that second wave, well, that's probably going to be much later as well. I wonder if they're like going to get hit with tariffs if they keep delaying this thing. That would be
well,
a
they can't
bummer.
upcharge us at this point, can
They
they?
can't charge. Yeah, they can't charge us more. No, that's right.
Right, yeah,
But they
okay.
could charge even more to that second round of people to like get it back on the back end. So they'll have to pay our taxes for us.
Oh, jeez.
And then the other thing here, Wario64 posted that Croc Legends
Oh,
of
how
the
dare you! I thought we were doing such a good kept posting this one. I want to be like, stop telling us about Croc. We're not talking about Croc on this show. You caved in, you coward.
Croc Legends of the Gabos releases April 2nd. Honestly, this could overshadow the Switch 2 announcement, Mike. That's why we have to talk about it.
good.
Host. What if it's a launch game?
Wow.
Yeah, whatever, right?
What if they make it a Yoshi game again?
Do it, Argonaut. All right, there you go, everybody. Now that we've talked about Croc, we can end the news segment. I can hand it back over to Janichoa.
I understand that there is a palpable yearning for Croc. Everyone,
The children yearn for the Crocs.
Yearn for the Crocs.
we yearn for the Crocs, but please, keep it down, keep it satiated, keep calm.
Who was telling us about the plot of Minecraft? Where was that happening? Did you guys hear about the
child?
Minecraft? No, the Minecraft movie. The Minecraft movie.
movie.
I'm gonna assume it was Nikki.
Was it Nikki? If someone explained like the children literally yearn, or there's like Jack Black's character as a child in the movie
Yearns for
literally
the
yearns
mines.
for the
He
mines.
says that in the trailer. That's how the trailer opens.
Oh, I don't
He
watch
goes,
the
as
trailer.
a child, I yearn for the. You saw Sonic 3. There's no way you didn't see the Minecraft movie trailer.
Oh, I didn't
I
see that in
didn't
the
see either of
theater.
those.
Sonic
Yeah.
3 is incredible. That movie, I've watched that
Really?
like 3 times now.
It's a
with the
good
kids.
Dragon Ball movie.
It's so nuts. It like there's like Chow jokes and stuff. Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
Okay, fair enough. The children yearn from the mines. Whatever.
Hey, they've been yearning and we've been keeping them away. Maybe it's time to throw them into the mines. Folks,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have you seen like just the toys for the Minecraft movie? And it's an
It's
action figure.
weird,
It's
real
just
weird.
Jack Black. It's kind of an old man now. Like it's just like kids are
I
playing with an
kind
old
of
man.
want
This
it.
is my Steve.
I kind of want it just so I have like a Jack Black action figure because that's
Sure.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put him in like a little luchador mask for Nacho Libre. I'll give him a
Mike-
little guitar.
Hang on, Mike Minotti groaning about this and acting like he's above it. Meanwhile, if Jack Specific came to you and said, "We want to make a Mitch Tolkoto action figure," you wouldn't act like it's the
Oh, yeah.
greatest fucking thing that's ever happened.
Oh, the kids would love that, man. That'd be big. You know, it comes with costumes. You put me in my RoboCop shit, my Mike McQuanchy shit.
He's already
Think
thought about
all
this.
the customization. You can make it your own.
You can wind it up for Rainforest Cafe action.
The Kung Fu grip.
It comes with one of like the little squeezy tube things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Etsy and I typed in Jack Black action figure, expecting to find a bunch of like custom made ones. And there's just one of Eddie Riggs from Brutal Legends that's been 3D printed, and that's it.
Well,
Oh,
that's
wow.
cool,
Huh.
I guess. All right.
Mm.
All right, folks, we're gonna go look in depth into action figures and see how we can mass produce our own Mike Tolkoto figures. So look forward to store.giantbomb.com soon. And we'll be back with some games talk right after this quick break.
Shirt.
Ooh, Gogs. Video games. It's almost like we strategically planned doing the game segment second to meet an embargo on time.
Just lucky that
Specifically,
way.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is now out.
Yes. I have been playing this quite a bit, and I like
Okay,
it.
Dan, you don't have to immediately jump into hate. We know you hate Assassin's Creed.
I didn't say that. You just said that.
You've never liked an Assassin's Creed. I listened to
Two
your
was
podcast.
fine.
You like two, right?
2 was fine. I played it. It's the only one I beat. I feel like I've started almost all of them and immediately gotten bored. This one I expected to be the same. But here's the thing: like the last few, I just didn't even really try because it's like, first of all, I've always thought just the story and the setting were boring, and especially the last one, it's just like it's like or like Viking and Greece stuff or whatever. Just look especially boring, even for Assassin's Creed.
Sure.
And then this one, I think it was the setting was kind of like, okay, I haven't really played one of these in a while. And a lot of the complaints I had, not all of them, but a lot of the complaints I had about the series are, mine were based on the old games. And now it's like the moving around, the climbing and all the stuff, like the control scheme is a lot better now. And I'm sure that's something that's like gotten better over the last few games. The setting's cool. The two protagonists thing I haven't really run into yet because I've just been the woman so far, and she's great. Like she's just like really just snappy. Like there's something about just like that kind of like almost like ninja style running around. It's like this is like what I wanted Tenchu to feel like.
Yeah,
back in
it's
the day,
the
you know?
Tenchu is where I keep going back to with her with Naue. She's very much Tenchu coded.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and also, I always hated in the old Assassin's Creeds where it's like, okay, there's a stealth mission and insta fail if you get caught and stuff like that, or it's just like this one. You can definitely do stealth, and I have done a lot, and it's fun as hell to jump off roofs and stab guys and stuff like that. But there's not a lot of like, oh, I got caught, everything's fucked. I mean, you can just fight your way out of everything, and because I do like the combat in this. You can change. I know it's not the first game to do this, but you can change the combat options and the stealth options. So you can basically just dumb down the guards and just make it so they're like slower to react to things and everything. Cool. So it's like I kind of can feel like I'm having more fun with the stealth because it's not so strict with it. It's got that whole hideout thing, Grub. I don't know if you've gotten to that yet, where you're kind of like building out your hideout and like kind of adding
stuff
rooms to
they've done it before, but it's like it really works because the Japanese setting, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a complaint I have that I've always had about the series is I've always just found it dry and boring in terms of like not having much of a personality. And like I know they were always trying that old stuff with the Animus and all that shit. And I always thought that was just convoluted and boring. And now it's just like, yeah, the cutscenes are just kind of like I don't give a shit about the story at all. They do some like interesting things that aren't just like traditional combat things where it's like, oh, you have to go to this like tea ceremony and you got to like, get a costume that'll fit in with it. And you got to learn the different rituals of like how to rotate your cup during the tea thing. And it actually has implementations during the scenes and stuff.
Mhm.
So I haven't been like skipping all the cutscenes or anything, but like I mainly like running around stabbing people and jumping off buildings and climbing buildings. And so
That's
I have
pretty
been
cool.
playing it. It's good. And it's like I've been doing it as a podcast game because again, the
Yep.
story is very boring. So I have not minded at all, just running around, finding stuff and killing dudes.
So I think I'm in a similar boat to you in terms of how I feel about the presentation and the story. I think there's like just kind of a gap between this game and some other open world games. This one clearly is inspired by mostly Breath of the Wild and a few others. But Ghost of what's the not
Tsushima.
Tsushima. Thank you. And Ghost of Tsushima is very close because they're a similar setting, of course. Ghost of Tsushima, I think, does a little bit better of just looking beautiful at all times, and this one looks very video gamey, which I'm okay with. Like, it's not like a huge negative, but it's like it's just not as ethereally beautiful as Ghost was. And then same with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild does a real good job of like if you kind of get into a flow state with that game and you're just kind of walking around exploring at your own pace, it could just wash over you with its presentational beauty. Breath of the Wild. This game doesn't quite get there. So and the story, as Dan said, the game does a lot of Naue up front, where I've not gone back to play as a samurai since the very beginning introduction of him. Yasuke, I think is his name.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to them.
Yeah. So how many? Because I'm like 5-6 hours in. And I've
Like
not
9 or
gone-
10.
I think that was a deliberate choice to be like, we're gonna force you to play as you wanted the Japanese character. Here's the Japanese character. Go ahead and complain, because if you start complaining, it's a woman. But whatever, we don't have to worry about those chuds. I started playing this game as the tourism simulator, the thing that they've been doing the last couple of games. You could walk around the world, and there will be these animus sort of shiny, shimmery objects that if you focus on by holding down the left trigger, it'll be like, okay, we've added a new thing to your codex. And I'm like, well, cool, I'm never going to read that. But I'm like, one time, I'm like, you know what? I'm in this neat like shrine. Let's see what it has to say. I opened it up. It gave me the history of the shrine, of how people would go up to this temple, and they would do this exact thing of like, okay, they would bow once, and then they would walk a little bit closer. Then they bow twice, even deeper. They would do 2 claps. They get down on the ground, and they're describing this thing. And as they're describing, I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. I unpause, and then the characters start talking about, oh, these people are here and they're so disrespectful. They go up there, they don't even bow. They walk on the cinder path like they're gods. I'm like, oh, I understand that now, because I just read about it, and it made me like get into this loop of I want to learn more about this world, because they've clearly just recreated a bunch of things in Japan, the historical settings. And I got like off of the story beat. I was for a while there. I was just going from one waypoint to the next, doing fun stuff. The stealth gameplay is fun. When you, like Dan said, when you get into a combat after the stealth fails, that is also fun and cool. You feel like a badass. But once I kind of like decided I'm going to have my own fun over here, the game was like ready to catch me with something interesting to do. I'm like, oh, I really appreciate this. And now I'm like exploring at my own pace and moving around. And again, it's not as like, oh, you're going to look at the screen and just be transported to this other world the way Ghost and Breath of the Wild does. But the game definitely still has its aspects of kind of capturing my interest. One other quick thing. It does the memory thing from Tears of the Kingdom. There's like little, there's like little pads you go to where it's like, and now it's going to have her flashbacks and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, someone clearly was like, what can we take from Tears of the Kingdom?
Sure.
Anything? And it's like, yeah, you can take that. You're not quite hitting quite as hard as that did, but all right, I appreciate you trying.
A thing that really got me the other day I was playing was that like I was just kind of like going off the beaten path, messing around, and I saw like there were some dudes fighting, and I was like, I don't know what's going on over here, but I'm gonna see who my camera locks onto and kill them. And I did. And then I killed one, and it did the like dramatic like does this like effect on the screen and stuff. And then it took me to my like there is a thing if you go into the objectives where it's like there's basically a group of people that you need to kill everyone in this circle.
Yeah, very Quentin Tarantino, very
Kill Bill style,
grindhouse sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it like crossed out, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I wasn't on a mission. I literally just stumbled into a guy that I didn't even realize who he was, and he was one of the like, there's like 15 to 20 of these people you're supposed to kill as a main objective, and it reminded me of like Mercenaries. Remember in like Mercenaries, because they had the deck of 52, and you'd just be like in the mountains somewhere, and you kill a dude, and it's like, oh shit, that was the Jack of Hearts or something. That made me think of that, and I was like, oh shit, okay, that's cool. I didn't realize these dudes would just be around the world, and like
I didn't know
that
either.
A story would take me there at some point, but I just killed this dude, and I was like, oh shit, objective complete, dude's dead.
That's really cool.
I'm hearing some really good things because I did not click with Odyssey at all.
Odyssey's the
Yeah,
one
I
that did
didn't.
click with me. I did not click with Valhalla or Origins. Odyssey's
Yeah.
the one I played quite a bit of.
People kind of forgotten that Mirage happened, huh? Remember that
Mirage,
one?
so this
It's
is like,
a side thing.
right. Mirage goes back to the original Assassin's Creed style of doing things. Like I did play some Mirage, but this is in line with those other 3 games that we
Is
just
it as
mentioned.
RPG as those ones, right?
You're a
Like,
bit hot, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very RPG-y, yes, but it's not at. Dan? I don't think there's colored loot. Like there's definitely like
Yeah,
you
well,
can
there is. There is.
Okay, there is. All right,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah. So very RPG-y.
Yeah, and it has a lot of different loot, and I think it all looks pretty cool. So, like, when you get something new, it's not just the stat boost and everything. Like, it reflects on your character. One thing I would suggest if you're playing it is I didn't love the English voice acting. They have a mode called immersive mode
That's what I've
audio.
been playing as.
Yeah, it's a mix of like Portuguese and Japanese, and so it's just like whatever they would have been speaking in those areas. I found that to be a lot more immersive
Cool.
than
Yep.
the English.
That's how I've been playing. It works really well. I will. You brought up the Portuguese. That just reminds me, like Shogun deals with similar things that FX show, and that's like you can't compare this game to like something like Shogun, where it's like, oh, this is let's take this familiar setting of people in Japan and kind of do something more with it. I mean, Shogun, the book is quite old, and there was previous shows or whatever, but it just like does a really good job of exploring topics of Japanese culture in a way that we don't typically see in Western representations of it. And this game is very much like now a story's just a revenge story. I mean, at least so far. Maybe that changes a little bit, but it's so far it's just been all a revenge story, and it's just not much
doesn't
to
even
that.
happen anymore. Like, oh
Yeah,
God, please do something more interesting.
and like
Even
it's
as
a
a
revenge
no-
story?
Yes, Dan. It's so.
You just do those.
Oh, Dan, please.
That's what
I-
movies and games are.
I want like
No.
an exploration of like the Japanese political system and things like that. That does happen on Shogun. That would be way more interesting to me. But
Oh no,
Ooh.
just give me Kill Bill every time. It's fine.
Give,
Sure.
give me a
Kill
Shin
Bill sucked. Kill
Godzilla.
Bill's so bad. God,
To-
because I hate Kill Bill so
to
bad.
be
You
fair,
do? That's
yeah,
too violent. Yeah.
the rogues gallery that you described, Dan, those like the badass bosses and stuff like that. That is pretty good. Like
Yeah.
them again, like here's a bunch of like very strong characters that you're going to get to kill later in this game. I'm like, okay, that is a pretty good motivator for me as someone playing this video game.
Yeah, I mean, Metal Gear Solid starts, Vulcan Raven, Giant and Shaman, Psycho Mantis. I'm going to kill all you motherfuckers.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
basically have all of those in here. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really liked it. Although I don't have any like illusions about like, look, this is a thing I'm playing right now, and I'm sure something's going to come out in a week or two, and that's going to take all my attention. Actually, I am already playing something that's got my attention more than Assassin's Creed. But it's all to say, I have liked this. I've enjoyed this. It's the most time I put into Assassin's Creed since 2. So yeah, I'll probably keep messing around with it.
Yep, I'm gonna keep playing it for a while now as well. I've been streaming it to the Steam Deck. That's been working. They say it's gonna be Steam Deck verified, but we'll see.
The Ubisoft Connect Plus stuff is fantastic with this. Because yeah, sometimes I play in here on the computer, and that runs it. It looks a little better, but then if I go on the 100-inch, I just have the PlayStation there, and it's been working great there too. So and
Yeah, I jumped
seamless with that.
Yeah, I jumped from one PC to the other to be able to play on this TV, and it's like it gives you your latest save, right? It doesn't give you like if you have like 10 saves, it doesn't do all those, but it gives you your latest one, which is all you want. So I just loaded that up and I hopped right in. You're right, completely painless. It's like, man, Ubisoft did a lot of work on Ubisoft Connect, this thing that no one ever wants to use except for when it's handy for these cloud saves.
Yeah, I remember Prince of Persia worked great. I went back and forth all the time. Like, yeah, it's great. Also, cutting bamboo in this game is awesome. And there's like big bamboo fences, and if you roll into it, they all fall down. The physics are really good on watching bamboo fall down. I'm into that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like maybe Ubisoft's like most interactive game like a Far Cry 2, but it is definitely like much more alive in terms of its physical interactions than a lot of recent Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft games. Which I'm like, okay, yeah, can we veer back in that direction? That would be great.
Good for Ubisoft. I
Yeah.
feel like they desperately needed this.
We'll see. I mean, it's what the Metacritic. If you care about such things, and OpenCritic, it's like at an 82 and an 81. Right.
That's pretty good, actually. I guess
good.
I don't know what previous Assassin's Creed's off the top of my head, but that's not bad.
It's like Valhalla. You know what? Yeah, Valhalla got an 80. So actually,
Oh,
better
wow.
than Origin's 81. So actually, yeah, seems it certainly in line with those other recent, very very big ones.
Fantastic. Speaking about other big ones and big releases that everyone is so hyped for, I've been playing another one of those, folks. Nubby's Number Factory is now
Who's
out.
Number Factory?
Nubby's
What?
Number Factory.
I like
Okay.
the name of this. And I like numbers.
I think the look of this game is incredibly up our alley.
Ooh, yeah.
It is a Peggle-like game.
Oh, shit, all right. God,
So-
Peggle's so good.
So how it works is initially your board is filled with different little, let's just call them pegs.
Oh, this is nuts.
Is this threes as well?
Not quite.
I like the look of this a lot.
It's really good. It's only $4.99 on Steam right now.
Download
Was
it
it
now.
early like flash junk, but
Yes.
intentionally
In a good
I think
way,
it's-
yeah.
Very gripping story of if you
Is it a
fail-
revenge story?
It's not a revenge story. It's
Sorry, Dan.
Aw.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just skip it then.
It's a Majora's Mask story, but instead of the moon, it's the sun.
Oh.
Okay.
Does it have a
will
face?
explode. Yeah, it does have a face,
Fuck
actually.
yeah. I'm in.
So unlike Peggle, where you're just clearing the board, you have a target number, and that'll range from like, all right, you got to get up to 40 points or 500. And as you hit the pegs, you clear the pegs, and they start with like just the number 1 on them. So if you pass through them, you clear them, and as you clear the pegs, more pegs get dropped onto your board, and they increase exponentially. So if you hit a peg that has the number 2 on it, it takes 2 hits to clear. And then as you are progressing through and doing that more and more, the numbers start to combine and increase on top of each other. So say you clear a specific set of pegs 8 or so times, it'll eventually add up to 64, and then it just keeps going up, and then your target number also keeps going up, and then you have different you have a set amount of lives for Nubby, who you are shooting at the board, and it in that same Peggle vein, you are just aiming and shooting, and you are just trying to go for that big number. In between some of the rounds, it does introduce roguelike elements where you get to buy an item, get to visit a shop, or you have a boss battle that affects the pegs and everything. It's a very interesting look to the game. Like Mike said, it's like kind of hard grunge flash game to it.
Yeah,
Um,
and speaking of that, Jan, Chad did just point out to check out the website of the developer. I would highly recommend everyone go to mogdogblog.com. This is perfect.
Oh
Mog
yeah,
Dogs what?
Mog Dog Blog.
Wow.
Whose blog?
Mog Dogs.
Okay.
Mog Dog.
Cool.
This
Yeah.
is good.
Mog Dog, at least the gentleman on the top banner there, he guides you through the tutorial. It's very good stuff.
Yeah, on the about
fuck yes.
page, there's Mog Dog's personal Gmail address.
Yeah.
Shouts out,
Fan art? Oh, cool.
shouts
This
out to
is
Mog
great.
Dog.
You guys all
Yeah.
play Hyper Light, not Hyper Light Drifter.
Hypnospace Outlaw?
Hypnospace Outlaw. You guys all play
A
that?
little bit. They did a good job with that.
No, I never
old
tried it
vibe
out.
at
That's,
early
that's
internet.
worth checking out if you guys are into this style at all.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just crushed that. Shouts out
God.
to Zane.
We need a tab on the website now of just fan art.
Just make our website look like that.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yes, please. It's fantastic. I highly suggest it if you don't want to partake in a long big game like Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I want to play Nubby. In fact, no, it might be Nubby's Never Machine that gets me off Assassin's Creed.
There's this art gallery page. There's just this one piece of art that's titled PNG, and it seems to just be nonsense. Like it's
Oh, it looks nice. That's like a good
Uh,
album art.
PNG.
There's only 2
PNG.
pieces of art
It's
on the
good.
whole thing.
It's PNG, like a PNG.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Mog
other
Dog.
piece of art is titled Computer Game Man, and it's mostly dirty wiring.
Indiscernible.
It's a hole in the wall with wires. What the
Play
hell?
and options and quit on it.
Oh,
Incredible.
it like goes into a crawl space. That okay.
this is
Computer
good.
Game
This
Man.
is good.
I think this is one of my favorite recent Peggle likes. So Nubby's Number Factory, go check it out, y'all.
This looks like a good Steam Deck game. I'm doing this.
Yeah, I'm getting this right now.
I have no idea what this is, Michael Minotti, but you put onto the list here Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
Wow,
You don't know Little Nemo?
Wow, you aren't old. That's impressive.
Little Nemo kicks
this
ass.
kid.
Little Nemo kicks ass.
So after the satisfaction of beating Fester's Quest on the NES for Flight Club, which
Satisfaction.
well, there was a little bit of it because it was this game I actually
it.
had for the NES back then, and a lot of my NES games I didn't beat. I was pretty young at that point. NES games usually are pretty difficult. But I did that. I had this NES out, and I had a bunch of other games that I found from my storage that I brought up, and I was like, okay, I really liked Little Nemo, the Dream Master, when I was a kid, but never got very far in it. It's difficult. It's a Capcom game, so it's good. It's based off this animated movie that came out around that time, which itself is based off of a very old comic strip about this kid who goes to sleep and he enters this dream world. Yeah, it's this really fun 2D platformer where there's a bit of a kind of Kirby element to it, where you find some enemies, you can feed them candy, and then you jump on them and you start riding them, or you turn into them. So you see a bee, and all of a sudden you can fly, or there's this kind of chameleon thing, and you can walk up walls, that sort of thing. So yeah, it just took like 3.5 hours. Managed to play through the whole thing. It's difficult, but there are continues. The last level is very long, and there's multiple bosses. When you die, you go back to the beginning. So that one took a little bit of doing, but still just really fun. Good boss fights at the end. Because at the very end, you finally get a weapon to attack with. Otherwise, you're mostly avoiding things, or maybe some of those animal abilities let you attack. And towards the very end, you finally get this staff that you charge up, and it only shoots diagonally. But the bosses are kind of set up for that. So there's just really, really good encounters. Great music, of course, because it's Capcom. Yeah, just felt good beating another one of those childhood NES games I never got to go all the way through.
I feel like for me, it was always a Rent and Game Genie game.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I love the world. Love riding the little feeding candy to the dinosaurs or whatever. But way too hard. But
Yeah, I guess
love it.
yeah, it's pretty difficult, but it was so it was satisfying to go through, and there was something satisfying about going through it on the shoot hardware. Not even when I play on a ROM and I don't use the save states, it's always something about the possibility of them somehow taints the experience, mind you. Something like that. No, look, you got your Atari.
Speaking of shoot hardware. Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Grub. Here's ET.
Yep, no problem. Thanks to Atari for sending out the 2600 plus.
I hope that was one of the ones that had to be dug out of the landfill.
Sure.
Pretty good condition. Thanks for that. Grub.
Damn it. Can you dirty it
Yeah.
up a bit?
You go bury it in my backyard until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh god, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's still a couple other childhood NES games I maybe want to play through. Yo Noid is at the top.
Yeah.
Of the list.
Oh,
I love Yo Noid. Never finished it. For kids who don't know, Capcom had a completely different side scroller that when they brought to the US, they rethemed it to the mascot of Domino's. Because of course you do.
It was a better time. It was a better time.
Yeah, we had everything.
Yeah.
So it's this game you play as the Noi. He's got a yo-yo, of course, which is making me think of the Mount Rushmore of characters who attack with yo-yos. Because that's
the one lady from
Rygar.
Guys, God bless the ring.
Star
Yes.
Tropics.
Star Tropics and Earthbound for
Right.
sure. That Penny's Big Breakaway came out
So
recently.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yo-yo, big yo-yo.
There's a new one that just got announced, a 2D game that had a yo-yo in it. I can't remember what it was though.
Yo-yos. Fun to attack things with yo-yos. Apparently,
Very true.
I got decent with a yo-yo at one point in my life. I need to get a yo-yo.
It
again.
appeared in 1998 where they were kind of big again.
Yeah, the X-Brain, right? The
Yeah,
X-Brain's a
yeah.
big thing.
I could walk the
Yo.
dog. I could do the Eiffel Tower gimmick and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Y'all.
okay, and then I don't have any of that knowledge anymore. Go ahead.
I I traveled in some hot yo-yo circles for a minute.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
It came back in such a way where just hipster people having yo-yo dance circle equivalents on subway cars was a thing in college. It was wild.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna buy devil sticks right now.
Oh,
No one's
man.
making
Oh no, they're $45. Never mind.
What about the David Bowie ball from Labyrinth?
Oh,
The
Fushigi?
Fugazi?
Sure,
Fushigi,
yeah.
Fushigi, yeah.
You said Fugazi.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I always conflate those two words, Fugazi and Fushigi.
Yeah.
We should have a power block segment where we just play around with like those things like devil sticks,
Yeah.
fushigi balls, and
Devil
yo-yos.
sticks.
I'm okay at devil sticks. I'm
Devil sticks-
sorry. I'm upset the Catholic boy.
Yeah, isn't that just the thing that they were smoking in Attack of the Clones instead of
No,
cigarettes?
those are
No.
death sticks.
I'm
Jesus,
sorry.
stop embarrassing yourself.
Sorry.
Does Dan have a set of devil sticks in
He's
his
gonna
house?
Yeah,
get his sticks out.
I hope so. Maybe it's death sticks. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, he's shaking his head no. All right.
There's a
What are you
new
looking for,
thing.
Dan?
Well, there's a new thing that I haven't been able to do because my fingers keep breaking. It's like, it's the like cup. It looks like a cup and ball, but it's like a wooden.
Kendama.
Yeah, I think that's it. I bought one of those like a year and a half ago. My fingers have been in various states of broken since then.
You don't touch that. You have ET tomorrow. All right. You keep those fingers safe.
Okay,
It's
well,
tomorrow.
no, I'm pretty
Wild.
sure this knuckle is currently broken
Oh,
from when I smashed in a veggie slicer. But I think it's been
Fantastic.
broken for months without me attending to it.
Fantastic. Dan Riker,
Yeah.
you've also been playing Star of Providence, and you played this for a little bit yesterday on the website.
A little bit. I want to show it off because I think it's pretty cool. Confusing history to it because I just started hearing about it like now, and then you look it up and it says 2017 it came out, but no, it came out as a game called not Mortimer. Why do I want to say Mortimer? What's the game studio that just shut down? Lion Cloth.
There's a lot of those.
yeah. There's a few of
The,
those.
Monolith.
Monolith. Yeah.
Yes, it used to be called Monolith, and then like Donkey's Big Mode Publishing thing picked it up and is like bringing it to Switch, and like there's updates and stuff. So I think he basically revived it, and the name has changed because of like legal Monolith stuff or whatever. But anyway, it's a roguelite twin stick shooter where each level of the like roguelite that you're going through is kind of like a Zelda dungeon where it's like you're kind of going around, you have to destroy these enemies that'll unlock the boss door, go into the boss door. You're getting a lot of weapons with different alterations and stuff that are called keywords. And it's pretty simple just looking at it, but every room you go into is like a really fun little combat encounter. It's all just really good meaty shots and everything. And it works as a roguelite. It's I've only like maybe 4 or 5 runs in right now, so I don't know exactly all the stuff what's unlocking outside of just the like you got this gun. So as far as persistent stuff, I'm not really sure yet. But it just immediately passes that test of like, oh, this feels good immediately, like many shoot adventures did to me.
It looked impactful, like everything you were doing in that game. Just like,
Mhm.
oh, that looks like it feels good to play. Which, yep, click me over. I have it on the Steam Deck now. Going to start it probably tonight.
Yeah, it's a real solid one. So I'll probably play more of that.
Exciting. I like the look of it. We need
Yeah.
more shmups.
I like shmups. Yeah.
Is it time
Dual
for
stick
shmups to
shooters
come back?
should just be a genre that everyone has one of. Every company should make a dual stick shooter.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Chet says-
heard Jeff Grubb.
Chet says, what if there's a Power Block show where Dan went to the doctor? Can we expense, like, I hear about this medical tourism stuff, and it's like, I love the idea of like, just send me to Turkey, and then not for the hair gimmick, but for like the thing you just go into a building and they just put you in a bunch of machines and scan you and everything. They got all sorts of different doctors and stuff, and it's like cheap and good, and they just tell you all the things that are wrong with you. Is that a good idea?
Well, if you find out all the things that are wrong with you, and then they'll treat them, that's just going to give you stress and anxiety.
I want to get treated.
Oh, that yeah, but are they going to do that in Turkey too, or how are you going to handle that?
Oh,
part?
wait. What is turkey teeth? People are telling me to Google turkey teeth.
Don't Google
want
turkey
to.
teeth.
I'll do it.
Is it just veneers?
you're you sounded like Frodo saying he'll take the ring there.
Well, that was the energy I'm going for. Don't Google turkey teeth.
Are they bad?
Why?
It's have you ever seen like what the teeth look like before you get the veneers actually applied?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
so they got. I don't want. I have always wanted all my teeth to just be pulled and just give me fake shit all around.
Okay, well,
but-
yes, and then you want turkey teeth.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The
Oh.
Roman
I have
reign-
I'm gonna look them. I think I have one turkey tooth. Because I chipped this one.
Oh yeah, I have
that's
one
right.
too.
Yeah,
It
I
sounds so much cheaper. It sounds so
I
much
chipped
like
this one.
I've
I
spent so
got
much
a root
fucking
canal
money
on
my
one
teeth.
tooth. Yeah.
Between my
This is
sinuses and my
actually a
teeth and
little
everything.
I feel myself rapidly aging as we were talking about this. Jeff Grubb,
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader.
I bought a GameCube. I've been putting off getting all the real hardware stuff for a real long time, trying to be like, I am happy with emulation. I love emulation. I'm not going to be like the Steam Deck, having just everything on there, playing games on there is great. But I did get a RetroTink 4K CE, and once that kind of clicked over, I'm like, I have the N64 and a handful of other things I could plug in there, PlayStation 1. Like, but I would probably like to plug a GameCube in there. So I just hopped over to a local used game store, got it for about $100, and picked up Rogue Squadron. I did also buy the Flippy Drive, which should come next month. Have you guys seen this thing?
What is the?
Wait, is that the
flippy
thing
drive?
that you're going to remove the optical drive?
So this is the one that it basically does that, but without removing the optical drive.
You can
still
do that?
It's with the Flippy Drive. It's $45.
I gotta look this up.
It is solderless. So you just all you need to install it is a screwdriver and then the special video games, the gamesman screwdriver to get the GameCube open. But you just screw it in. You pull like one ribbon. You put the ribbon in there, and then the ribbon also kind of has another part of it that goes back off to the optical drive. So that you just like hit one button when you want to use your disk drive still. So I'm gonna have a fully like kitted out, and this thing it has a wireless chip in there, so you can use Bluetooth controllers. They're constantly updating it. They also did a new version of the what's the one like Swan? What's the one that everyone uses to load your games or so whatever?
Swiss.
Yeah, Swiss. Yep, I got that.
They have their like own, I don't know if it's like a fork of that. It's an alternative that uses all of the assets that were built into the GameCube for its menu system. So it looks like a Nintendo built menu system to get to your video games that are loaded on an SD card. So I'm like, oh, this looks like they really have come a long way with this stuff. So I was pretty happy to be like, all right, I'm getting that. And I will install that on a Grubs Gimmicks, and we'll hang out. And
I need to be on that. I want to watch it because, like, I would buy another GameCube and do that because, like, it's rare that I actually want to use a disc, but I would like the ability to.
Exactly.
And also, Swiss was cumbersome in a way that, like, I got it working, but it's like a lot of these things, you get it working, and then it's like if you want to add a game or take something off or something, it's like I'm not gonna fucking touch this because everything's gonna break if I do that.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how that goes because I mean I have like 3 GameCubes here. I should definitely try to install this on one of them. So yeah, I want to see that process, see how that all goes. I did. Yeah, there's I've plugged a bunch of these consoles into these retro things or whatever else, or gotten bespoke HDMI converters for them. But there is still something about the GameCube for some reason. Right? I think there is a bit of a reason why that became a bit of a black hole for the retro market. The GameCube is still very satisfying to play.
Yeah, I mean, it was just this perfect storm of it was Nintendo. Some of the best games from that time all happened on that console. So people who do have a lot of nostalgia, everyone at least played Smash Brothers at their friend's house, and there was only like 25 million of them. So if you wanted to start collecting, you had to get serious because there just wasn't a lot of those games out there. So I got one game with it, Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. I've been playing through that again. That was such a good launch game for the GameCube.
It looked incredible. Like,
it looks
visually
incredible. Yes,
that has the trench run in it, doesn't it?
As the trench run, yes. It's the and that was like the demo that I think you could get for the GameCube early on if you didn't get the game right away. And I played that over and over and over again. I think it was the first one where they really like went into ILM and got the movie assets that they were using for like the special editions. So they just had the X-Wing model from the movie and they just reported it into the game. You know, obviously had to simplify it a lot, but they just had the data to work from. So it just looks astounding to this day. A 26-year-old game or whatever it is, 25-year-old game. And it's still like really fun. It gets kind of punishing occasionally, but like you just like look up the one trick. It's like, oh, don't worry about the TIE fighters here. Just fly to those guns, take those guns out, and you can actually beat this level in 2.5 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. So I've been doing that and having a good time. I really like all these Factor 5 games and really happy to kind of be playing this one again on Shoot Hardware because this is one of those games doesn't actually still run great on Dolphin. You can get it running okay, but all Factor 5 games, they were like wizards. They always had their own technology. Like Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine on N64 is another one that isn't great on emulator, things like that. So yeah, I'm glad to have Shoot Hardware again, and especially when the Retro Tink gets here, I'm going to be popping this thing in 4K on the TV, and I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, this weekend I played Twisted Metal Black to completion on Shoot Hardware, and it's like that still looks really good. That's 60 frames a second, feels great. Like that game it's similarly punishing, but has held up great. So yeah, old games, huh?
Yeah, I like them quite a bit.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I may or may not have been looking at Facebook Marketplace postings for CRT this whole time. And let me tell you. Maybe it's because of the Bay Area and thrifting culture here, but it is obscenely expensive to get a CRT.
Jan, if you want to drive out to Minnesota, I've got the 19-inch Trinitron here, and I don't quite know what to do with it yet. So.
And don't search for CRT, search for old TV.
Yeah, because if somebody says CRT, they know what they're selling. Yeah,
smart.
Yeah. I've had mostly bad experiences with Facebook Marketplace, I have to say.
I've used it so much.
God, I miss the heyday of Craigslist. Now I feel
too.
like it's just like a sketchy thing. Every single thing, I'm just trying to buy a tripod or a C stand. Last game for today, folks. We play this on UPF, and boy, howdy, was it probably one of the funniest streams I've witnessed from this website in a very long time. And we're nothing but funny, so this is up there. Repo, REPO, Jeff Grubb, Dan Reichert play this along with Turbo Sean, Nikki, Tam, and Lucy.
We had a full 6 member crew go out in Repo, which is a Lethal Company like. It is one of these company games where you are sent out to collect goods that you return to meet a threshold once you have enough money, and then you can return to the base, buy some stuff, and go back out. It is a spooky version of one of these. Most of them are pretty spooky. This one's got, a lot of different monsters that have their own gimmick. Like one was a blind shotgun guy that uses a shotgun as a cane, and if he hears you or discovers you, then he shoots in that direction. It seemed like he was paired up with like a ghost lady that could see you, and then she would like throw you across the room, like you're being pulled like a clay pigeon, and then the shotgun guy would blast you out of the air. It's neat. Really, though, it's just all of these emergent moments as we try to like figure out, okay, I'm going to go out here with you, and we are going to try to get enough goods so we can go back to the smasher and cash in at the extraction point. We need a couple of things. We haven't seen anything, so let's kind of go a little bit further than we've gone before. And when we find something, you just don't know what's going to happen. Is it a Mithrigan? Is it like a little? Is it a doll that is going to freak out when you pick it up and start attacking you? And if it does, can you figure out how to get that maybe into the cart that you have with you with your friends? And we came up with a plan. Now, in the process of putting it in the cart, she did get like whacked on the ground several times and exploded and wasn't worth anything anymore. So she just went away. But then one time I picked up a music box. I'm like, okay, this is worth like 3,000. This is going to get us. We're good. But as soon as I picked it up, it opened up, started playing music, which would attract, let's say, a blind monster with a shotgun. And because it's a music box with like a little spinny ballerina on the top, it made it so I could not stop spinning like a kuro. And so I had to like try to maneuver my way through the doors, and I passed it off to Sean as he like was going through the door, which actually was pretty slick. That worked really well. Then we got to the next door, and it just kept whacking on the door frame, and we couldn't get through. And then finally we did. But by that point, the monster came and shot me with a shotgun. It's just a really good time. I think maybe a really good one of these.
The thing that killed me immediately was the way the characters look. They're just little Terrence and Phillip guys with like flappy heads. And like as you talk, the head flaps and like the eyes, like they're big googly eyes that look at each other. And it adds so much to the humor of the game.
Positional audio,
Yeah. Mike, I don't know if you saw what I did.
I saw what you did.
Okay. That's objectively
We wanted to
funny,
make
Mike.
sure you were included.
Yeah, thanks.
Tam telling us all to be quiet, and I hit him with
I jacked off in a rainforest cafe.
and it made my little guy's flappy head go with that. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
Tam's reactions to it was my favorite part.
Especially when like the flappy head Dan with the mic voice would be in one room, and then Tam would be in another, and so the position audio would just be this muffled through the other room coming through the wall. Shut up. It was just very good.
One of the early moments in that stream is y'all figured out you could hide underneath beds. And then Grub, you telling Nikki and Sean to hide underneath a bed, and both of them just talking to each other and looking at you and just like nodding along. It's just so good.
Yeah, like we were coming up with a plan, and again, the positional audio is like very good in this game. They do like a lot of great tech with like making the audio bounce around the rooms and have like a really feel like it's in that place. We get in under the bed and we're whispering to each other, and I'm like, listen, Tam and Lucy are kind of running for their lives right now. They're probably screwed, so we should just go now and let them deal with the monster, and then we'll be able to survive. And then they were like, okay, maybe they're dead. So here's the new plan. All three of us are going to have to go out there, and whoever's the slowest is just going to die. And Nikki's like character making their character nod along to me. It was like Jane, you said you would watch an animated show like this.
Yeah.
It was cartoonish. It was, it had the qualities of an animated television show, but the one that you were performing live, it was really well done.
There was another moment where Nikki popped into a cauldron and then the cauldron exploded, shooting Nikki off into the sky.
Uh-huh.
And then Grub, you just found them like laying in a corner, just like smiling,
Giggling,
It was-
yes.
it was just really good.
And the giggle like would also mix the head flaps, which are like like that, and like that Dan did it as well. And I'm like, every time they would explode into the sky, and I'd look around for them, and then I'd hear them off to like the right laughing. I'd look over, and at one point, Dan was basically alone in the room, just laughing to himself, and you just see this little character like on their side, just going, and it's just a very funny sight gag.
I know that this style of game has become very popular, especially with streamers, but I need a Muppet version of this.
Yeah, that's a good call. That
Oh,
would be
God.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Just like seeing Kermit's head flapping or like Ms. Piggy. Oh,
One of these games does have to sort of get on that Fortnite treadmill of a lot of partnerships, because these little robot guys are perfect, I think, in terms of going for a certain style of, it's always funny no matter what they're doing, because they just look funny, and then their heads flapping and all that works. You start putting hats and skins on that, and I think you can maintain a lot of that while also having a bunch of Muppet skins on there would be fantastic.
yeah. All
What was the
right.
fucking Looney Tunes guy? There was the big fuzzy red monster. Is
Yeah.
that a Marvin the Martian thing?
It's in a lot of
Oh,
those.
Yeah.
He'd be good, like,
he started as
stomping
an
around.
alien.
Okay, yeah, he'd be good stomping around, hiding under the bed from him.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
or just-
Movie,
or-
by the way.
Just Sweetums. Bring Sweetums in there from
Oh, yeah,
Muppets. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could
Gotta
do
see
the
that movie 'cause it's gonna
Monstars.
leave theaters immediately.
What movie is this?
The Looney Tunes movie that came out.
There's a new Looney Tunes movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Porky Pig and Daffy Duck. The End of the World or something. It's supposed to be very good.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I should go see that.
Okay.
Animated, 3D animated.
All right, folks, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back with the emails right after this. Emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Write in about any and everything. You want to avoid an awkward social interaction. You're standing in line somewhere. You want to ask us a question. You thought of a fun quiz or whatever else have you. Please send it to bombcast@giantbomb.com. We got a lot of lovely emails today, this week from the folks at home. The first is a quiz. This is pitting Dan and Minotti against each other.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Hey, Jan. I tried sending you guys a Dan versus Mike quiz that I made recently, but I sent it the first week Gmail started marking all your emails as spam. So here it is again. Dan has to tell us which characters is from the Lord of the Rings, and Mike has to tell us who is a member of Wu-Tang Clan. 7 questions each. Perhaps a punishment could be on the line?
Might be kind of busy for punishment.
Yeah, we can't just throw punishments out willy-nilly.
Is there like a really short game that would be fun? Let me think while you guys do this.
Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of the shortest games I've ever played.
All right. Do we want to go back and forth, or
hate
do
this
we want to
website.
go Dan's full 7? And
Wait,
then
so
Mike's
are you
full
going to
7?
give me like a character and you ask me if they're from this or that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'll be easy. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go back and forth.
Okay. I think Dan, you might have this.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go back and forth, and
Okay.
I'm gonna present 2 characters or 2 names, and you tell me which is the real, either Lord of the Rings character or Wu-Tang Clan member.
Okay.
All right. Dan,
Yes.
is it Frodo or Frito?
Frodo is from Lord of the Rings. Frito is from The Godfather.
Okay, you got that correct.
One
Mike
of those
Minotti.
is a good movie.
Inspector
Frito.
Deck or Inspector Gadget?
Oh, I watched Inspector Gadget as a kid. So Inspector Deck. There's no way that there's a Wu-Tong song better than the Inspector Gadget theme song, by the way. Come on.
Mikey, please.
I've heard him make that joke several times, and it still upsets my stomach.
You
It's
please.
Wu-Tong.
Oh,
You please.
all right. Okay. Dan,
Yes.
Gollum or Golem?
Gollum is the little gremlin guy.
Okay, that is correct. Mike Minotti.
Yeah.
Who is a member of the Wu-Tang Clan?
Okay.
Capicola or Capadonna?
Capicola is a kind of deli meat. What was the second one again?
Capadonna.
Yeah, Capadonna must be a member of the Wu-Tong group.
Okay, all right, we're 2 for 2. I feel like deducting a point from Mike Minotti for continuously saying Wu-Tang Clan. Incorrect.
I was saying Wu-Tong group.
Or wait, someone incorrect. He said, okay, yeah.
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 Number 3 for Dan. Aragorn.
Aragorn. Okay, so I see what they're doing there. Because Aragorn, I've seen in the subtitle of some like PS2 games. Aragon is a 360 or was it PS2? It was like this ambitious thing that did not do well. So Aragorn is the Viggo Mortensen gimmick.
That
Isn't
is
Aragon
correct.
like that dragon book or whatever?
Yeah, that's what I thought it
Yeah,
was.
some weird. It was. Was it a movie?
They made
I
one
know it was a
movie.
book
Did
for
they make
sure.
a game based on it? I can
It was a book,
vaguely
the whole-
see the poster. It was very dark and like greenish and black and yeah.
I thought Aragon was the homeschool dragon book, but I don't know.
Okay.
No, I think you're right. It was like purple or something.
Yeah.
Next for Mike Minotti, Obi Trice or ODB.
I see what they're doing here.
ODB was a TNA wrestler I don't think anybody else remembers.
Real name, no gimmicks.
Yeah, what was that first thing?
Obi Trice.
Yeah, I think there is a Wu-Tong member named OBD also, actually. That sounds familiar. I'm going to go with OBD. I don't know
Oh
what that
my
person is.
God. How are you fucking up
I
every
would have ripped my
possible
head off.
OBD. Old bastard
OBD, are
dirty.
you-
Love old bastard dirty.
Mike, I guess you still got it right, but it is
count.
ODB.
What? Okay, I got it.
Yes, it's ODB though, not
Yeah.
I
OBD.
definitely got it
from the
wrong with the way
Wu-Tang
they were
group.
all yelling.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
did technically get it very wrong because I'm
Nah, I got
upset.
a point.
All right. Number 4 for Dan. Treebeard or Buckbeak.
I know there's a bunch of tree shit in that series. I'll go with Treebeard.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Mike Minotti. This one's a toughie. Who is a member of the Wu-Tang Clan? Redman or Method Man?
Ah, that's a good one.
like this.
I've heard of somebody called Method Man before. I've never heard of a Red Man.
Oh.
I believe the answer's got to be Method Man.
You are correct. Mike Minotti, you are the Redman to Jeff Grubb's Method Man.
Yeah. Oh my
Okay.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, so wait, Minotti was in the Christina Aguilera Dirty video?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a Red Man.
You're
There is
both
a
in
Red
How
Man.
High. You're both in How High, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Red Man?
He's just a rapper.
Method Man's friend.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Which
like
one
do a
was
lot
it
of stuff.
on?
But he's not a part of the group.
No.
He's
Just like, you know.
affiliated. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he knows them and has worked
Yeah,
with
he's
them.
just
Yeah.
getting
They're
to parties
friends.
with
I
them.
got you.
Was it Redman that had the MTV Cribs where like to like use his doorbell, you had to put the wires together and he had like GoldenEye strategy guides on the ground? I remember watching that and being like, I like this guy.
We should watch that on a UPF.
Oh God. Yeah, no, just old Cribs episode.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that'd be incredible. The Tommy Tallarico one.
of course.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been on there twice.
A bunch, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
his mom is proud.
Dan, this one is harder. Two of these 3 characters are from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
First one, Elfbara, Eowyn, Eomer.
I think Eowyn is either like Kate Blanchett or Liv Tyler in the movie. So let's go with Eowyn. And what was the first one?
The remaining 2, Elfbara and Eomer.
Elfbara and Eoman.
Partially correct, Dan. Elfbara is not from Lord of the Rings.
Those last two sounded similar.
Eomer.
Yeah, they're brother and sister.
Okay, well,
Also, neither of those actresses that you listed play her.
oh, okay. Those are the 2 actions I know from that series.
All right. Mike Minotti, similar. You get 3 options, but this time one of them is in the Wu-Tang Clan.
All right.
Your options are Ghostface, Ghost Dog, Ghostface Killer.
Well, Ghostface is the bad guy from Scream. Ghost. What are the other 2?
Ghost Dog and Ghostface Killer.
Boy, that stank on Killa, right? That's interesting.
Is it?
If I said Ghost Dog, would that be different?
Oh yeah, now I'm like, now they both sound good. They both got some stank on it.
Okay, somehow this is racist now.
No, it's come on. Ghost dog or ghost face killer? I think it's ghost face killer.
That is correct, Mike Minotti. I'm
Ghost
proud of you.
dog. Ghost dog is Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, Forrest Whitaker, Ghost Dog. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a Black Samurai movie. It's pretty good.
I'm winning.
You technically are winning.
You said OBD from the Wu-Tong group. You're definitely not winning anything.
I'm winning for sure. I haven't said a wrong answer yet. I have not picked a wrong answer yet.
Okay,
I think
fine.
I'd hazard that OBD was a wrong answer. But
It was technically.
All right, Dan, you have three options. Again, two of these characters are in Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Your options are Samwell Tarly, Samwise Gamgee, Fatty Bulger.
okay, I think there's a trick thing going on here because Samwell Charlie and Samwell Gamgee, one of them I think is
Samwise Gamgee. Sorry,
Samwise Gamgee. One of those I think is the fat kid from Game of Thrones. And the other one's the idiot that was on Lost. Right?
I can't help you.
Say the three again.
Samwell Tarly,
I think
Samwise Gamgee,
okay.
and Fatty Bulger.
Samwise Gamgee is the annoying guy from Lost, and Fatty Bulger.
That is correct. Incorrect about the annoying guy from Lost.
No, it's Rudy.
Oh, well, isn't the annoying guy from Lost one of the hobbits?
Yeah, but not.
Yeah,
not
but there's
Samwise
more
Gamgee.
than one Hobbit.
Okay, they all suck, but they're all interchangeable. But anyway,
I kind of
yeah.
like Bilbo.
I thought Fatty Bulger was a gangster. I did not know he was a Hobbit.
What if I said? What
Yeah.
if I said Ghost Dog, Ghostface Killer, Fatty Bulger?
Oh, okay. Well, then
Oh,
clearly.
yeah.
Man, Lord of the Rings would be so much better if it was just about some dude with muscles who had to kill somebody.
A revenge story, maybe?
No, it'd
Yeah.
be better if Lord of the Rings was just the Wu-Tang Clan doing everything the hobbits do. Because then it'd be
Okay,
people I think are
that's true.
cool and I want to get behind.
Man, they should make that game.
Oh
Number
my-
6 for Mike Minotti. Two of these are members of the Wu-Tang Clan. One is not. Three options. You have RZA, SZA, and Gizza or Jizza.
No, he didn't.
Jizza? No, was named Jizza. Jizza? It's the other two, not Jizza.
Mike Minotti, incorrect.
The Jizza.
SZA's like a lady singer, right?
Yes.
SZA is a modern
Yes.
lady singer, yes.
The
Yeah.
RZA
we're
and the
fighting
Jizza
again.
are both. And the RZA is a film director, Mike.
Yeah, RZA's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
yeah. RZA
Yeah.
worked on the soundtrack to one of your favorite movies, Mike.
Which one's that?
Kill Bill.
Ugh.
What do you have against Kill Bill?
It's,
A woman gets killed in it.
I mean, multiple people. It's nothing. It's I don't know.
It's not.
Barely a movie to me. I just like I don't know.
All right.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, no,
Last
the Jizza's a shoot, brother.
Yeah, Jizz is a shoot. So I think both of you are kind of tied right now, actually.
Yeah.
If I'd be curious if Mike just watched like the gravel pit video. I wonder if how could you watch that and not be like, these guys seem like they're having fun and that's a catchy tune.
I don't think
I don't
he's
have
ever,
anything against them.
yeah, he's never taken a
Flintstones
stance against
adjacent.
them.
I just have. It's not like you where you watch Lord of the Rings and dismissed it. I have zero exposure to this.
That's why I think you should just watch the gravel pit video and I think you would like it.
Maybe.
Oh, that's also true. The RZA is on Lin-Manuel Miranda's new musical soundtrack, Mikey.
Wow,
Yeah.
very cool.
Okay. All right. Last question for the
Mufasa?
both
This
of you.
is a shootbrother.mp3.
No, not Mufasa. All right.
Okay.
Dan Reichert,
Yes.
which of these three are a Lord of the Rings character? Sharky, Bill the Pony, Pippin.
Pippin sounds lame, so that's probably one of them. Unless it's Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's cool. What are the first two?
Sharky, Bill the Pony.
Bill the Pony also sounds lame, so I'm going to go with that. Sharky sounds too cool to be in Lord of the Rings.
Trick question, Dan. All three of them are Lord of the Rings characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wait, does
All
he
right.
get a point? What the heck? You couldn't mess that up.
He got like 2.5 or 2 points.
Scotty,
Like, I
wait,
think you
Scottie
should-
Pippen's that? What's Scottie Pippen up to now? I just know him from like NBA Jam.
I think isn't Pippin the annoying hobbit from Lost?
Oh, he's my favorite character.
No, Pippin's
That's
the other one.
Mary. Mary. No, Pippin's great. We love Pippin.
Okay.
Mike, I think you should take this up with the commissioner. You have been screwed here for sure. I'm sorry, bud.
What is this?
All
Yeah,
right.
this is
There's no
a
wrong
serious
answer.
game.
Mike, your last question. Which of these are in who of these people are in the Wu-Tang clan?
It better be all of them, is what I'm gonna Let's see.
He's shoot hot.
Too Short, Riff Raff, Mr. FAB.
Riff Raff, Street Rat.
Oh my god.
I don't buy that. If only they look closer.
Yep,
would
it's not
they
Riff Raff.
See a poor boy. No, sir.
Mike, which of these three?
Oh,
Say those again. Riff Raff and who else?
Too Short and Mr. FAB.
Rap
Mr.
game Jafar.
Okay.
Sorry.
The S is a dollar sign though with Too Short.
So
Yes,
Dance was all of them. I bet mine is none of them.
That is correct, Mike Minotti.
Yeah.
All right. Jerry, who wrote this quiz, also adds, in the event of a tie, please ask Dan what is the name of the land of the hobbits, the land hobbits live in.
The Shire.
That is correct. And ask Mitch what CREAM stands for. CREAM.
Yeah.
This was so much easier.
No, this is an anthem.
CREAM.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cream.
It's an
I hope
acronym.
I hope the R stands for rap.
No.
No.
Nope. Then shit, I guess Dan wins.
Let's okay. The C is cash. Does that help?
Cash. Well, so what's something that starts with R that is desirable? Is it rims?
It's a statement about cash.
Cash? I think they're pro cash. So
No,
Okay. I'll give you the R. I will give you the R. Okay.
Yeah, but-
Cash rules.
yeah, I told you it would be cash rules everyone. Everything.
Close enough. Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Cash rules everything. And
Nope.
cash rules everything around.
Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me.
Yeah! You're a member of the Wu-Tong group
The
now.
most question mark at the end of cash rules everything around me I've ever
Cash
heard.
knows everything around me.
$1 bill, y'all.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Fantastic.
I'm shocked I got there.
Oh my
Fantastic.
It has to
god.
be pro cash.
Definitely pro cash.
Real
Pro kung fu.
All right. Fantastic email. Jerry also adds push GB kids. Jerry in Wisconsin. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jerry. Next email. I forgot their name here. Hi bombers. So I fell through a friend's porch last week and blew my knee out. Because of the way my home is set up, gaming has been pretty difficult. So, do I buy a PlayStation Portal, a Steam Deck? Do I suck it up and wait for the Switch 2? I have some retro handhelds, but I'm starting to think I'm missing out on the modern market. P.S. Please check out your flimsy porch boards.
I for me, it's like, Steam Deck or Asus ROG Ally, whichever one fits better with your library. If you have a lot of Game Pass games and stuff like that, you want to do that, then the Roger. If you want to do a lot of emulation, I think it's just so easy to set up on the Steam Deck that I would probably go in that direction. And then you could stream stuff to Chiaki from your PlayStation, so you don't need a portal. That OLED screen looks so good. Yeah, I would hop on this. They're gonna have a new Steam Deck probably next year, maybe, but your Steam Deck's still gonna be great. You'll get a lot of value out of that over the next year or so. So yeah, I would get that.
I'd say that too. Yeah, and I saw someone in chat say, "Don't get the PlayStation Portal as your only handheld." I agree with that. That's going to limit you in a way the others won't. Also, the Switch 2 will, but if you're a big Nintendo fan, that might override the rest. But the Steam Deck is just the most versatile, I think.
Agreed. All right. Next email comes from Brock from Toronto, Ontario. They write in about best co-op games. Hey, Bombers, longtime listener. After listening to the Revengeance on Friday of the Mount Rushmore of co-op, I would like to add one of my favorite co-op games, Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Featured 4-player co-op in which each player chose a different class to play as. My question is, have any of you played it or remember playing this? Do you think it should make the Mount Rushmore?
It wasn't just. It was an update of Gauntlet Legacy, right? For
Yeah.
arcade and
Is it Gauntlet
64
Legacy or Gauntlet Legends? What was the name of that one?
Gauntlet Legends.
It's an
Yeah.
expansion of Gauntlet Legends, which that one was on 64.
N64 and Dreamcast. It was great, and it was great everywhere. It's so much fun.
If I remember right, did that come out around the same time as the first Tony Hawk? Because I remember debating, like, I had enough money to buy one game, and I was like, all right, do I want to get Gauntlet or do I want to get Tony Hawk? And I remember thinking, like, 4-player Gauntlet sounds great, and then I just got bored of it quick and returned it.
Yeah,
I made the wrong choice.
It's a rental game, right? The Gauntlet Legends was always, let's rent this, have a weekend where we just crush it, pizza, Coca-Cola, and then return it, and then you rent it again, a year later.
Yep.
Speaking of like early 360 games, a game very similar to this that I liked a lot was that first Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Oh yeah. Well, the
I
X-Men Legends 1 and 2 were on the original Xbox, and 360 was Ultimate Alliance. Ultimate Alliance 2 sucked ass, but that first one was fun.
Yeah. The second one just didn't hit as much, but the first one was super fun and just very easy pick up and play.
And everyone loves Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Nintendo Switch.
I forgot.
I forgot.
I played that at E3. Yeah.
Mhm.
It looked like shit. I remember.
It was very ugly. It played fine, but it looked
It's all right.
okay.
All right. Next email comes from Willow, and this is about Mike Minotti and the tuba lore. Hey there, Willow from Cleveland here. I heard on the last Bombcast that Mike played tuba in high school. I also played tuba in school. For 7 years, I played that monstrosity in marching band and regular band. However, I also made sure to branch out by playing upright bass in jazz band, plus electric bass in pep band and show choir. I even did some singing in regular choir. What musical extracurricular talents did y'all get up to in middle school and high school? Love you all. P.S. I really tried to get my band director to let me play the Moog synthesizer in pep band. He refused vehemently.
Alto saxophone. I've talked about it before.
Samba de Amigo. That's it for me.
My brother who also did tuba and my one friend who did tuba, they also did the whole, hey, I was going to do jazz band and play bass in that because it kind of transferred in certain ways. I was never good with the guitar like instruments. Never could really get a handle on any of that stuff. So our marching band program was very big where I was at that time. Like we had like the school was maybe 600 kids, but the marching band was somehow 300. So it was just
Ooh.
this massive percentage of people were in the marching band. Was this big deal. It was a cultural thing there. So that alone took up a lot of time doing all the marching and the concert stuff and whatnot.
I, like I mentioned earlier on this podcast, I picked up a ukulele because of Explosion Man. I also learned to play the banjo, and I would still be playing the banjo if my friend did not sit on the banjo and break the neck of it. He never offered to pay me back for it or replace the banjo.
What the hell?
That's what I'm saying. All right. Let's go with 3 more emails. Happy GDC week to those that celebrate. Thank you for visiting my city. This email is about GDC. Comes from Sean from Philly. Hello, bombers. I'm going to my first GDC this week and was wondering if you have any advice for a first timer. I can only make the career day on Friday, and as crazy as it may sound, I truly do want to work in this industry. Parentheses, even with everything the past few years have been. Any general advice? Is it weird to be networking there? Should I just go with the flow, have fun, visit booths that interest me? I got a few speaker sessions scheduled and speed networking, but was also hoping for any perspective you guys can give. Thanks, and hope you all have a great week. Sean from Philly. P.S. Go Birds.
It's the most networking of these conferences. Yeah, don't feel bad about networking there at all. That's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, and like, I think the way you make that happen is people do have booths, and so go talk to them and give them some of your time. And then once they it's okay to be transactional at a thing like GDC. Everyone's paying to be there. They know what the score is. So if you go there and listen to their pitch for their thing, be like, that's really cool. I think that's really fascinating. I have some questions. Here's my angle of trying to get into this industry. Do you have any recommendations for me? And they'll want to talk about their experience because they know why you're there and they want to help. That's the whole point. So don't be shy about that stuff. Try to look for some mixers. If there's people you only recognize from, being online or from podcasts or from Twitter or from videos, go say hi. Tell them you like their stuff and see if they're willing to give you some of their time. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But everyone knows the whole point of being there. So it's okay to try to network.
I always felt so weird with GDC. Even when I went to lived in San Francisco, I never went
It's
to
not
it.
our it's not our thing.
That's
Right?
the thing. Is like
Yeah.
I never understood like media people going out there because it's like this isn't for us. This is for developers. Like I
The
went once and
developers
I was like,
do
I don't
like
want to do this.
network even with media, but I definitely had that same sense for
Yeah, I
sure.
felt like I was encroaching, and I just never
Yep.
wanted to go again. Yeah.
There would be some good retro game, like retrospectives or panels like that.
Yeah.
I would enjoy some of the talks, but yeah, personally, it was never my favorite.
I was kind of wish it was going this year. MVG's like we're showing off the stuff with Croc and a bunch of and what's the Bubsy stuff, and then he's like, I'll show it to you, ready to go. I know you're the Bubsy guy. I'm like,
You're
I'm
the
not
Bubsy
Oh,
guy.
I'm
You're gonna be
not
like that.
sorry.
People that follow the Grateful Dead around. You're gonna be like that for Bubsy.
It seems like that. Yeah, and now I'm like, I
Bubsy
would
on
love
tour.
love to see MVG, but I just passed it off to Tam, and hopefully Tam gets to see it.
Yeah, like Grub said, if you recognize anyone walking around, perhaps you listen to a podcast of sorts that they do. Go if they don't look like they're rushing to a meeting.
Yes.
Maybe stop them, chat, whatever. If they do look like they are sweating bullets trying to speed walk to a meeting,
Hey,
maybe just wave hi or whatever,
Yep.
and that should be fine. Also, as SF local here, do not hang around the Moscone Center if you want cool SF stuff, because it's not cool SF stuff over there. It's real tourist trappy. Hop on BART or hop in a Waymo, the cars that drive themselves. Go over to Valencia Street and have the time of your life.
I say just stay in that park outside the Moscone Center and wait for Jonathan Blow to start doing Tai Chi. You're gonna have a real good time. All right.
We have a last minute email here. Okay. All right. Should Nikki and Jan do a GDC meetup? Nikki. Sure.
I say yes. That ain't my time.
Oh God, with the power block, I don't have time for anything. But yeah, we could put that together. That'd be fun. Yeah. Maybe we'll just have a get together outside of my apartment.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
The taco truck.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, last two emails here. Nikki is now saying no. I don't know.
We can't maybe no, we can't do it at your house.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll just drop some GPS coordinates and throw it into your Google Maps, folks.
That's a good idea.
Also avoid the marina. The marina is fucking trash. All right, it's just nothing but the worst people go there. Go to Valencia, go to the dog patch, say hi to Barbara Jan for me. It'll be great.
Go to the Walt Disney Family Museum in the Presidio.
Yes, avoid the marina, but go there to the Presidio.
Yeah.
All right, last two emails of the show. This one comes from Travis in Fargo. What would you do for real if there was a snake in your boot?
I would throw that boot so far away.
I would retrieve the snake and put the boot on.
Retrieve the snake. No, I'm with Mike. I would just throw it off a cliff.
Retrieve the snake.
I don't like snakes.
Yeah, no thanks.
One
Like
time-
it's crazy. You ever like you're walking on a path or something and you just see a snake and like there's a thing where your brain is just like it's some primal thing. It's like you just feel it shiver throughout your body and you just like jolt away. Like I'll do that sometimes when I'm running.
Literally,
I'm that way with spiders. Yeah. So spiders are
yeah.
like my primal brain. It's like, hey, these things killed one of your ancestors, and your fear kept them alive.
Enough of our ancestors die from this that we have been selected to be afraid of these things, and I am listening to those instincts.
Exactly. Yes. I had a friend
Hmm.
in Costa Rica who was like, "Oh, that's a colorful snake," and picked it up. It's like, "Oh no, those are the ones you're supposed to avoid. The more colorful means they're more dangerous because they don't need camouflage for some reason. I wonder what that reason could be." And so yeah, she got bit and got poisoned and had to like go. And they're like, "Yeah, you're lucky you didn't like leave the country because we only had the antidote here."
Oh, Jesus. I had a run in with a snake one time in the Mojave Desert. The snake lost. I won. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Killed a
My
snake.
My grandma used to cut their heads off with a shovel.
Hell
Sure.
yeah. Go, grandma.
I saw grandma going in the backyard with a shovel. I knew there was gonna be a headless snake soon.
Yes, snake whacking day. Yeah.
What to deal with a
Yeah.
snake head?
No, just
Oh.
kill the snake.
Yeah, but what did you do with the head?
I'm making a necklace out of it. I don't know.
You just like toss it
Let
to the
a
neighbor's
hawk
yard.
eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last email of the show comes from Rebecca in the UK. Dear Bomb Petty and the Heartbreakers, I recently
Very good.
started following many of the crew on Letterboxd because I just can't get enough of y'all's opinions. And this got me thinking about what else the Letterboxd format could be turned to. If you could create your own version of logging other activities, what would it be? Theme park rides, cigarette brands? Personally, I'm trying to see more art. Mona Lisa, Michelangelo's David on my watch list. Rembrandt's The Night Watch, 4 stars. Death Triangle, Rebecca from the UK.
There's already a theme park version. It's called Log Ride. So like, I
Yeah,
feel like
you're a real
almost,
log
It's
rider.
a good name.
yeah, almost
Yeah.
anything you can imagine. There's some variation of this at this point, right?
Yeah, I would do it for gas stations and gas station food.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Or the Costanza app, where I would do it for public bathrooms. I
Yeah.
would like rate every public bathroom I was in. Yeah.
What else?
They have ones like that for like cocktails and stuff like that. As you try ones and rank them and stuff like that. I like
Sure. I
that.
mean, there's a ton for beer on tap
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Right?
Yeah, they do have one for coffee as well.
Yeah. Is there just a soda one? There must be, but I think that'd be fun to be a soda influencer.
Sure. Yeah. You might give out cheer wine.
Oh yeah, I see it all over the place. It's fine.
Like it. It's
I like it
everywhere now.
okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a good like root beer if I'm gonna get a somewhat crafty soda thing.
Sure. Yeah. A root beer from a keg, like a tap keg is
yeah.
very good.
Yeah, so yeah.
Ooh.
That or even like a what's your local grape soda? That situation, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That about does it for emails this week.
Wait, real quick.
Yes.
The purple stuff in the Sunny D commercial, right?
Mhm.
The purple stuff, that was
Yeah.
just grape soda, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
Or some kind of grape drink. It might not have been soda because like there was
Oh,
those
you're right.
jugs.
It was like in a
Yeah.
jug. Okay, so just a grape
I
drink.
don't think it was
Okay.
carbonated. It was just grape,
This could've
purple
been-
drink.
Could have been
Purple
Kool-Aid, maybe.
Purple drink's way better than Sunny D. I want the purple stuff for sure.
Okay, yeah, give me the purple stuff.
Fantastic. All right, folks. That does it for emails, and that does it for the show. We got a bunch of stuff popping off on the Power Block this week. After the Bombcast wraps around 12 noon Pacific time, Sean will be streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows. Tomorrow through Friday, game breaking news popping off. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow, we're actually pushing back game breaking news by an hour. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dan.
Yeah. I'm just hoping it's short.
It's a high possibility.
Fucked up controller.
It could
Yeah.
be in just 8 days. Jeff could be playing a Blake Club game.
Oh, I don't think it's more than one episode.
He's ready
Yeah.
to go. Yeah.
I have my stuff, I think. Yeah.
I have no,
I think
I
I
have
don't
no
know if the
idea
game's
what
here
it is
yet.
this time. It's a
Oh, really?
surprise to me too.
No, I didn't tell him.
It's like a okay. As well, Grub's gimmicks tomorrow. We're
Hey,
gonna be
33 Immortals.
33
This is
Immortals.
a 33-player cooperative roguelite. I'm gonna play it for only about an hour tomorrow, so let's get going right away. If anyone wants to hop in, just hop in. I'll try to get some people from the crew, but we'll have spaces left over if anyone else is gonna get that game. I think it's on Game Pass, although I think I'll be playing the Epic Games version. Although I hope it has crossplay if it's gonna have 33-player multiplayer. So yeah, we'll try that out.
Sean says you can only have a party of 4.
Okay, cool. We'll have our party of 4, and whoever, if there's a way to join us with your party of 4, I have no idea. I'm gonna play it some today and find out.
Fantastic. And as Dan was alluding, his turn at the Blightning round starts tomorrow. Gosh, I'm just craving some Reese's Pieces all of a sudden.
I think I
don't know
will
anyone-
fix that craving for myself tomorrow.
Thursday, the GameSpot show continues, as well as the voicemail dump truck. This Friday, we have a special guest joining us for Bombcast Revengeance to chat about his new book. Mike Drucker is hitting the pod.
I can't say enough. I'm about halfway through that book right now. It's the funniest shit. It is the most relatable shit ever. If you grew up loving video games as a kid, and he's just an incredible comedy writer, I cannot say enough about this book. It's
I
fantastic.
pre-ordered it right away. I got the hardcover version coming my way once it starts shipping. I'm looking forward to it.
This is the book I was reading, or I was playing Mortal Kombat for the Game Boy last night because he talked about how terrible it was, and I had no idea how fucking bad that first Mortal Kombat is for Game
nightmare,
Boy.
yeah.
It sucks ass. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that'll be Friday. I
UPF,
think we do a Mount Rushmore of first levels. Want to do that?
Sure. Love that.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
UPF this week will be Thug Pro. That's right. We're gonna get to skating as well as
Just in that-
GameSpot
those
After
files.
Dark to close off the week. Nikki's going to be in town for GDC, and I live here, and I have a pass to GDC. Maybe Nikki and I will get down to something. Who knows what? I've yet to figure out. I can barely walk today. I'm going to take an obscene amount of Advil and Tiger Balm for my back. But tomorrow, folks.
I think RFK is making those illegal, so do it now. Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't want to go to the farm yet. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., the GameSpot team is dropping the Stalker 2 documentary. A lot of time has gone into this. The team has been working obscenely hard. I suggest you go check it out. It is good stuff. Roughly about like 40 or so minutes. So that's why we are pushing back game breaking news to give that some time to breathe. Folks, anything else popping off this week? I think that's it.
I think
video games.
I think it's everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Mojo next week.
Mojo next week. Yes.
And you mentioned, Sean's doing Assassin's Creed here in a little bit. We're going to be doing that. I think at the top of the hour, you said?
Top of the hour.
Cool. There you go.
So, folks, you'll just have to hang out for about 30 or so minutes after this wraps. And then Sean is going to guide you through Assassin's Creed Shadows. Folks, he's been Mike. He's been Dan. He's been Jeff Grubb. I've been Jan. And you have been doing great. Make sure to go water your plants. Go shift them to the east side window of your house so that it gets a little bit more sun today. We love you. We'll see you next week for another episode
Shawshan's Creed?
Shawshan's Creed.
And
Beautiful. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Bombcast. We love you.